Baseball's always provided a unique stage for dads and their kids. Delano DeShield's dad played in the big leagues, and his advice was key.
Be consistent and have fun. And, you know, as a big leaguer, when you get to this level, you can kind of lose that sense of fun. And, you know, that's the biggest thing. You go out there and have fun, and like you did when you were 7, 8 years old.
Joey Gallo's dad created great memories for every time he hits a home run.
For me, they always play the Natural music from the movie The Natural. And as a kid, I grew up watching that movie with my dad. So it's kind of a special moment when I'm running around those bases, especially when my dad's in the stands.
And for Jake Diekman, dad was key in his recovery and return to baseball.
My wife, Amanda, her parents, my dad, my family and friends back home, they were, so instrumental in me not only coming back, but also like the mental side where I never got too down on myself, just kept moving forward.
Today is a day to reflect on the support and care of all fathers and celebrate it with baseball. On Father's Day, Major League Baseball supports the Home Run Challenge and prostate cancer awareness. It is a beautiful day here at Globe Life Park, ready for the final game of this series. A rubber match as the Rangers host the Colorado Rockies in interleague play once again this afternoon. Welcome in again, everybody. Great to be with you. I'm Dave Raymond alongside Tom Grieve. Happy Father's Day, Tom.
Thank you. Likewise for you.
Thank you. It's a special day, Father's Day, all around baseball, and you'll see it all throughout today's broadcast as well. It's a fun day out here at the ballpark, and it'll be even better if the Rangers can pull off a win. One thing that, of course, every team counts on when you're looking to win ball games is good effort from your starting pitching.
Yeah, I guess they've said that from day one in Major League Baseball. The success of a team starts and ends really with your starting pitching. The Rangers, when they get 7 or more innings from their starter, are 8-4 this year. Last year, they were 28-9. You expect that from veterans like Cole Hamels and Bartolo Colon. It was really nice to see it in yesterday's game from Mike Minor, who was transitioning from a relief pitcher last year to a starter. He had really good stuff yesterday. Strong all the way through the ball game, 100+ pitches. That was really nice to see and important for the rotation.
Yeah, well, speaking of the rotation, a little bit of a change today for the Rangers as a familiar face returns and joins the rotation today. It's Fort Worth native Yovani Gallardo.
Well, you know, Yovani's a veteran guy. It's great to have him back in the rotation. Had a pretty good year for the Rangers in 2015. The bulk of his career, most of his success came with Milwaukee, 211 starts. But in 2015, he went 13-11 with the Rangers and really pitched well. He started the year in Milwaukee and Cincinnati, went to AAA with the Rangers, earned a call-up. He's a local kid, Trimble Tech High School. Doesn't throw as hard as he used to. He's a veteran guy. He knows how to pitch. The Rangers are kind of looking for him to enter the rotation and fill the void left by Doug Fister and his injury. He can do that, be a middle of the rotation guy, pitch deep into games, to be doing exactly what the Rangers are looking for.
Kind of funny to have him back for an interleague game. Wish we could use his bat today.
There you go.
He's an excellent hitting pitcher as well, but that won't be a factor today. And maybe he won't need it because the Rangers have been getting some great production lately out of the leadoff spot. Shin-Soo Choo, every single game is in our highlight reel, and we'll put him in the spotlight when we come back. Rangers baseball is sponsored by Ford. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today. Ford is the best in Texas. And by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Father's Day out here at Globe Life Park today, and happy Father's Day to all you dads out there this afternoon as we get ready for the final game of this 3-game interleague series with the Colorado Rockies. We were just talking about the great production from Shin-Soo Choo, and today he is in our Shiner Box spotlight.
Well, when you got a guy like Choo who's hot with the bat and walks a lot, you can get one of these streaks. 30 straight he's reached. Longest in the American League. Odubel Herrera has the longest in the big leagues. He reached 40 straight times for the Phillies. Last Ranger that had 30 or more, that was Elvis with 32 back in 2012.
All right, for a little bit more on Shin-Soo Choo, let's check in for the first time today with Emily Jones.
Yeah, I actually talked to Shin-Soo Choo about his thought process as he goes to the plate each and every time. If he's thinking about the streak, he said not at all. His approach remains the same, and he says he keeps it really simple. He's actually thinking about jamming the ball. He says if he's able to think in those terms, he lets the ball get deeper into the zone. At that point, he's just trying to make contact, poke it out to left center field, hopefully get on base, and if nothing else, have an at-bat like the one he had yesterday. Saw 11 pitches, ended up walking, but he feels like in that leadoff spot, it is important to show that patience and to be discerning when it comes to which pitches he's going to take and which pitches he's going to try to make contact with.
Okay, well, let's just keep that whole concept going. It's working well for him lately. And the Rangers hoping that he can get this offense started early. Speaking of offense, let's take a look at the starting lineup for the visiting Colorado Rockies. 34 wins, 36 losses this year. They started off with DJ LeMahieu at second. Charlie Blackmon, the dangerous center fielder, bat second. Then it's Arenado, Carlos Gonzalez, and Trevor Story in the middle of things. Gerardo Parra, Ian Desmond, the former Rangers, the DH today. Tom Murphy catches, and Ryan McMahon gets his first start of the series.
And Giovanni Gallardo back with the Rangers, gets the start this afternoon. We'll look at the pitch arsenal from the former Trimble Tech star over in Fort Worth. He'll throw 2 different fastballs, 2-seam, 4-seam. That adds up to about 50% of the time. He really throws a lot of pitches at any given time. He'll also throw a slider, a curveball, and a changeup. Doesn't throw as hard as he used to. He was a mid-90s guy when he first came up with Milwaukee. But he knows how to pitch, not afraid to use any pitch at any time, more of a finesse pitcher. And hopefully after 9 or 10 starts at AAA, he'll be ready to step up to the Rangers and help out the rotation. The Rangers defense is delivered to you by New Braunfels. Gallo, DeShields, Mazzara form the outfield this afternoon. In the infield, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa gets the start at third. Adrian has the day off. It's Profar and Odor up the middle. Ronald Guzman's at first, and back behind the plate is Robinson Chirinos.
All right, so we are all set to go. The baby blues for the Rangers today, and Gallardo to the plate, and he gets it right in there for strike one to DJ LeMahieu. Leadoff man for the Rockies at 278 coming in, and a very good hitter in the first inning. They do a lot of things well in the first inning offensively. Check swing, and did he go? No. Angel Hernandez, our umpire, down at first. 88 degrees air game time today. The coolest start temperature we've had in the series. LeMahieu hammers this one down the left field line. Could be trouble, and it is off the pole. That is a solo home run. And so LeMahieu starts the scoring on just the third pitch of the game. It's 1-0 Colorado.
Well, LeMahieu is not a home run hitter, but he's a batting champion and a line drive hitter who obviously has some power. He gets a pitch to his liking, kind of comes back toward the power zone, middle of the plate, slightly in. Obviously the question was, would it stay fair? And when it hit the pole, that was the answer. A 300 hitter, line drive power, hit the line drive that went 340 feet.
So LeMahieu, look at their, well, I said the Rockies do a lot of good things in the first inning. They're the best in the first. That's their 20th home run of the first inning this year. 61 runs, far and away the most first inning runs in Major League Baseball. It is the first time and only time they have scored in a first inning in this series. Blackmon shoots this one out to right field, and Mazzara is right there, one away.
Oh, when you look at Giovanni, remember him back 2015. He went 13-11, had an ERA a little bit over 340. Made every start. He had 33 starts that year for the Rangers. Looks like he's in great shape. Looks actually a little thinner than he did back then. Looks like he might be working a little bit quicker, staying right on the rubber, looking for the sign, getting the ball. And early in the game anyway, his velocity is at the same or maybe a tick above what it was back then. Touching 92 miles an hour early in the game. 93 right there.
1-1 the count to Nolan Arenado, the third place hitter for the Rockies. Arenado putting up big numbers and fouls this one away. He's 9th in the National League with a .308 average. He's 11th in the league with those 13 home runs, and you see his on-base percentage. Well, that's third best in the league. Now those are just a couple of the categories in which he registers near the top in the National League. There are many more. He's also the best defensive third baseman in the league, but he strikes out here, and there are 2 away.
Yeah, in spite of the home run, I like the way that Giovanni's throwing early in the game. It looked like a cut fastball. See it come off. His fingers come off the side of the ball, the spin on the ball. Not quite a slider. Velocity not quite a 4-seam and 2-seam fastball in between. Cut fastball, 88, 89 miles an hour. Only breaks that one probably an inch or two, but enough to fool a very good hitter and get the swing and a miss.
Well, another first pitch strike, this time to Carlos Gonzalez, a left-handed hitter. Gonzalez started yesterday's game with 1 for 4. He did not play in the opening game on Friday. 1-1 the count. Long tenured Rocky Carlos Gonzalez, a Gold Glover, an All-Star. He has been one of the real foundational pieces for this franchise the last 10 years or so now. 2-1. And that'll even the count. So you see his numbers as a Rocky in now his 11th season. 221 home runs. The average at 287. Helped a lot by playing at Coors Field. And he is one of those guys, maybe the poster child for Rockies hitters, known to have much better numbers at home than they do on the road. Hits this one in the air towards short, and a layout job by Profar to haul it in. And the inning is done, so a little defense to help Giovanni Gallardo.
Not a hard hit ball. He got it in on the handle a little bit. Looked like he might have sliced it for a base hit, but because it wasn't hit hard, Jurickson had plenty of time to get over and make the play.
Look at the Southwest Airlines starting lineup for the Rangers. 28 wins, 44 losses. Chu getting on base all the time now, leading it off as a DH. Delano DeShields, Nomar Mazara, Jurickson, Profar up at the top of the order. Then it's Odor, Kiner Falefa, Joey Gallo in left field. Robinson Chirinos back in there catching. Ronald Guzman at first base. John Gray ready to go. And the right-hander puts it on the outside corner for a strike to Chu. Gray 6 wins, 7 losses, and a .568 ERA. Now Chu has reached in 30 straight games. Right now the longest streak in baseball, and it's the longest for a Ranger since Elvis Andrus reached in 32 straight, but that was a while ago, 2012. And he takes a strike, it's 2-2.
I don't know about that one. Started out near the strike zone. Didn't quite get there though.
Oh, a swing and a miss, and Chu strikes out.
There's an example of that call. It's 2-1. Pitcher gets the call, it goes for 2-2, and then you induce a bad swing. If the call goes Chu's way, now it's 3-1. Probably a different pitch. You don't get the slider. You get a different pitch on 3-1, and it's an entirely different at bat. It's how a call, one way or the other. Not blaming the umpire. Calls could go either way, but how that type of a call on a 2-1 pitch can affect the pitcher or the hitter definitely worked to the advantage of John Gray.
Well, the Shields swings at the first pitch. Yeah, not blaming Alan Porter, but it was his fault.
You said it, not me.
I mean, he's the one who
umpires
did it.
hear this stuff, you know.
Oh, they're good dudes. It's all right. They don't get every single one, but
no,
they get a remarkably high percentage of them.
Well, the thing, I try to say this 4 or 5 times a year, the thing you have to remember is the umpire is trying to call a pitch that's going 93 miles an hour with movement, and it can be an inch off the plate, and that's what we see when it's not quite touching the strike zone. So when you don't know what kind of a pitch it's going to be, don't know exactly where it's going to be, you know where he's throwing it by where the catcher's glove is, but trying to call those pitches that are within an inch of being a strike and have that velocity of movement, that's not easy. That's hard.
Fly out by the Shields, 2 away.
And for John Gray, bright young pitcher for Colorado, he likes to throw 4-seam fastballs 51% of the time. Probably his best strikeout pitch is his slider. Throws that a lot, 32% of the time. Doesn't throw many changeups, but he'll also mix in a curveball. In fact, he's had 39 strikeouts this year, counting the one today of Shin-Soo Choo on his slider. 6th in the league coming into the game with 91 strikeouts. So he's been a pitcher with really good stuff who gets a lot of strikeouts. 91 strikeouts, 76 innings.
A very good pitcher. And he jumps ahead of Mazzara, 0-1. And Nomar sends this one in the air to left field. Now Parra was deep. Coming on quickly though, and he'll close on it to complete an 11 pitch. Bottom of the first inning for John Gray. So the Rangers go in order. We go to the second inning, 1-0. Well, we've played an inning. 1-0 Rockies lead. Now keep your favorite beverage steaming hot or icy cold with the first ever Rangers tumbler, courtesy of Academy Sports and Outdoors. First 15,000 fans to the game on Monday, June 25th. We'll get this great giveaway item. It's Padres and the Rangers. Tickets available, TexasRangers.com. As Trevor Story goes after the first pitch, lines out to the Shields. There's one away here in the second inning.
Good defensive placement with Delino shading over to right center field. Trevor Story hit a line drive pretty well into a simple play. You can see Delino shading on the right side of second base, perfectly placed. He makes the easy play on a pretty well hit ball. Story came into the game tied for 5th in the National League in home runs with 14. He's having a nice season. Because Story does a lot of his damage at home. 12 out of his 14 home runs have come at home.
Well, here is Gerardo Parra, who was kind enough to ask for time when no umpire was back behind the plate. I'm asking for time here. Wait a minute, but anybody here? 1-1 the count. And Parra at 288 for the year. And he's got some extra base power. 9 doubles to go along with 3 home runs. And another Gold Glove outfielder on this Rockies team. They have just a spectacular defensive team. And of course, they score a lot of runs. They've got some really good bats. That guy, their skipper, Bud Black, has suffered through some real struggles with his bullpen, including yesterday when the Rangers came from behind to win the game yesterday with 2 in the 7th, then 3 in the 8th inning to win 5-2. 1-2 pitch.
Yeah, one thing that hurt him yesterday is Trevino, the night before, threw something like 30 pitches, so he probably wasn't available for a spot in a close game where he normally would have been used. It doesn't mean the pitcher that came in, I think it was Harrison Musgrave, doesn't mean he's not capable, but that's kind of the role that you would expect for Trevino, but evidently he wasn't available.
Well, bouncer second base, and Odor throws out Parra. 2 up, 2 down here in the 2nd inning. But there's 20 losses this year in games in which they have held a lead. That's a tough way to go about your business.
Yeah, I think when you're going through a season like that where you've essentially played pretty good baseball, got a good solid offense, starting pitching has been capable, and you're losing games late in the game, it's kind of like an NFL team who's playing a great game and come down to the 4th quarter and you've got a field goal to make, and the field goal kicker misses the field goal, and what's been accomplished over 2 or 3 hours before that goes unnoticed because you haven't won the game. And you know, bullpens understand the role that they have, the responsibility. A lot of pressure for late inning bullpen guys to come into close games and hold the lead. But generally speaking, the teams with over 500 records that are contending for postseason play have bullpens that do that.
Yeah, in recent years, that's sort of been the starting point when you think about how you put together a team. So many teams, Kansas City Royals and their run a couple of years ago was really built around their bullpen. It's an increasingly critical part of a team's makeup. 3-1. Roller goes foul, especially now as you know we get deeper and deeper down the spider hole of analytics, and especially how we deal with starting pitchers. Can't see a lineup more than 2 times. I mean, that just puts more pressure on bullpens. Got to be deeper. That guy's been perfect this year. Keone Kela, 15 for 15. Makes a big difference. Now the payoff, and a bouncer back up the middle that goes off of Gallardo's glove. So Ian Desmond gets an infield hit. And Gallardo not touched that. I'd have to guess that Odor makes the play and the inning's over.
Yeah, that's just the case as a pitcher. Your reflexes take over. It's probably a play that Giovanni makes most of the time. Haven't seen it as often lately as maybe in the past, where ball will go by a pitcher and he can't get his glove up and he raises his hand to try to deflect it or catch it with his bare hand. Now, that's not something he wants to do, but it's just something his reflexes take over. And
Kevin Brown used to do that a lot for the Rangers. Don't remember Kevin ever getting hurt doing it, but a number of pitchers have been hurt trying to deflect a ball with their bare hand.
Well, Tom Murphy doing the catching today, and he lifts this one high in the air. Shallow center field, easy play for the Shields, and a quiet second inning for the Rockies. We played 1.5. Rockies lead 1-0. Again, run by DJ LeMahieu brings up the Rangers here with the second inning, and Jurickson Profar, a GXU Energy power player to watch. Since the beginning of May, leads the team with 29 RBIs, but 23 extra base hits as well. Also in runs scored with 26. He's been playing every day at shortstop, a run that is likely to conclude with today's game. I mean, the odds are pretty strong that Elvis Andrus will be in the lineup tomorrow when we head to Kansas City, finishing up his rehab work today as the DH. And then the challenge, how do you get Profar in the lineup every day? Where do you put him? How many days a week can you get him in there? You and I were talking about it earlier, Tom, but you know, Banny might want him to play a game or two a week at shortstop as they, maybe pace Andrus back into the flow of things. Might get a little time at second base, give Odor a day or two a week. And of course, Beltre has not been playing every day at third base, and they're not going to want to do that. So Profar should pick up some days there as well.
Yeah, the guy that will probably lose the most playing time would be Kiner Falefa, because Profar will probably be the first guy to get infield time when someone doesn't play, and he deserves it. There really, over the last month or so, hasn't been a player driving in runs better than Profar's been doing, and giving good at bats. He's seen eight pitches or more 18 times this year.
Fly ball out to right field, one away here in the second inning.
Batting fifth, the second baseman, number 12.
Well, how about our showstopper? Here's a guy who's been making some noise lately, drawing a little attention. Luis Severino yesterday was outstanding. 9 strikeouts, 8 innings. You see the 99, we saw 100 there earlier, and you were telling me earlier, even at the end of his outing, he was still throwing.
The 100th pitch was 100 miles an hour. I mean, he's got to be a great bet to start the All-Star game. There's some other great candidates, Corey Kluber, Justin Verlander, and others, but there are not many starting pitchers throwing better than he is right now. I mean, you got a starting pitcher throwing 100 miles an hour on his 100th pitch. That's pretty rare territory. His velocity is what you'd expect to see from a late inning bullpen guy coming in, airing it out for 1 inning. He's spreading it out over 8 innings, throwing 100 miles an hour at the end of his outing. He's also got, at times, an unhittable slider.
Breaking ball to Odor, in there for a strike, the count 0-2.
Well, you run out Verlander, Kluber, and Severino in an All-Star game, and the National League going to be hoping to score late in that game because they're probably not going to score early.
One and 2 the count.
That's not even mentioning Garrett Cole, Chris Sale. A lot of really strong starting pitching. Throughout baseball, it looks like the depth of starting pitching may not be that strong with all the injuries, with the exception of a couple of rotations, namely Colorado and Houston. Colorado and Houston are the only rotations who have used their same 5 starters all year long. No other team has done that other than those 2 teams. But when you look at the top 10 in ERA, the top 5 pitchers, they are elite for sure.
Well, second strikeout of the afternoon for Gray as he gets Odor swinging. And here is Isaiah Kiner Falefa. Gray 5 up, 5 down so far. And the righty finds the outside corner for a strike. John Gray, 6'4", 230 pounds. He's 26 years old. And that one just missed.
A couple of times this year, the Ranger beat writers have asked Jeff Bannister in the press briefing whether or not Kiner Falefa would get an opportunity to catch. Did the Rangers in a development season want to see him do that? And Banny's always indicated that he'd like to see that, but with Elvis out, they really weren't in a position to do that because they needed Isaiah to play infield positions. But with Elvis coming back, it might open up the opportunity to occasionally see him behind the plate.
He strikes out swinging, and it's another 1-2-3 for John Gray. 2 innings in so far this afternoon. Colorado leads it 1-0.
Appreciation for all military by sharing a photo or video with hashtag Hats Off for Heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
A lot of youngsters out here today. Hope they brought Dad. I'm sure they did on a Father's Day Sunday here in Arlington. A great day to spend with Dad. I might have been here yesterday with that reversible bucket hat. Or was that today?
I think it's today.
Well, then he got that today.
We advertised it last night.
That makes sense.
Gave it away today.
Well, how come you're not wearing it?
Like if you look down into the stands, you'll see a lot of red hats.
Yeah.
That is the reversible bucket hat.
That's the giveaway.
Yeah.
All right.
Most people seem to have it on the red side.
Yeah,
it's reversible. What color is the other side?
Blue. There's the other look. Right
there it is, right next to it. It's a pretty good giveaway, especially when you pair it with a regular hat.
2-1. The Cowboys see like the regular hat underneath and then the bucket on top.
I like that. You get the visor to keep the sun out of your eyes a little bit better, and you get the bucket hat to keep the sun off your ears and the back of your neck. There it is, right there.
Yep.
I like to feature that look in the wintertime on the golf course. Yep. Wear your regular hat to keep the sun out of your eyes, and then a winter hat to pull down over your ears. It's not a great look, but once you tee off, there's only 3 other people that can see you anyway, and they're usually your friends, so who cares?
It seems like a lot of hats to keep track of.
Well, it would be for you.
It would be. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. There's always that look. That's always an acceptable one as well. Little roller by the mound. This time Gallardo lets it go. Odor charges and slings it over in time to get McMahon one away.
That's a second or third batter that's been sawed off by Giovanni in today's game.
Well, we're participating in the home run challenge today, and of course have been all month. Every home run in today's game raises money for prostate cancer research. Since June 1st, $2.4 million have been raised in the challenge. You can make a pledge today by going to homerunchallenege.org. DJ LeMahieu in the first inning, who helped raise a little money, and it also has accounted for the scoring in today's game. 7th home run of the year for LeMahieu. Six of his 7 home runs on the road. It's really remarkable, because you were talking earlier about Trevor Story, but similar story goes for Ian Desmond. I think like 11 of his 14 have been on the road. 6 of LeMahieu's 7 have been on the road. I mean, I don't get it. Playing at Coors Field and all, you figure it would be the opposite. And there's a swinging strikeout, and LeMahieu the second out of the inning.
Back-to-back cut fastballs for that strikeout.
All right, time for Chevy game break. Let's say hi to Dana Larson.
Center fielder Charlie Blackman.
Go. So the Royals showing a little life in that series, trying to put an end to a long Astros winning streak. Astros have won 10 straight. lead the division currently, just a half a game ahead of Seattle.
Charlie Blackmon went up there trying to lose a fastball over the right field wall, but got a changeup instead. Giovanni's had 8 days off. His last start was 5 innings. He threw 110 pitches, so he got his work in, but well rested for today's game, and it looks like it early in the game it has suited him very well. He's had really nice stuff so far in this game.
Gets ahead of Blackmon. The ball in 2 strikes. Has allowed just the infield hit after that home run. Nice play on that foul ball. Gallardo, 32 years old, longtime Milwaukee Brewer. Holds a number of Brewers franchise records. Little roller left side of the infield, cut off by Kiner Falefa, and he'll throw out Blackmon to win a 1-2-3. Top of the 3rd inning. It's still 1-0.
We're talking about Giovanni's stuff today. It's been a nice cut fastball for him against a really good hitter, a former batting champ. There it is on the outside corner, and there's the strikeout. Nice pitch.
1-0 game here as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Rangers look to get something going against John Gray. Gray has retired the first 6 he has faced today, 3 of them on strikes. Look at Joey Gallo to start the 3rd inning. Robinson Chirinos, Ronald Guzman also do this inning. Gallo with 18 home runs, 5th in the American League. Average just a skosh over 200 now. And it's 1-1. Gray, before the games, you want to look and see maybe how a guy's fared against your team, and in particular, maybe he's faced somebody of note and they have good numbers against him, something along those lines. The only guy that Gray has ever faced on this Rangers team was Bartolo Colon, and he plunked him. he hit Bartolo.
I bet he wasn't real happy about that.
Who, Bartolo?
Either one of them.
Breaking ball, and there's a swing and a miss, and another strikeout for Gray. All right, brings up Robinson Chirinos. Good to have him back. Now, this was Wednesday in Los Angeles. Made a really solid play at the plate here. Matt Kemp was out by a mile, and Chirinos didn't like it.
No, he didn't like it. I think Robinson felt he had the ball in so much time that with the new rule implemented to aid the catcher from being rolled over like that maybe Kemp would slow up a little bit and just accept the out. On the other side of it, from Kemp's point of view, he's playing aggressively, he's going hard, and he has every right to run through the catcher if the catcher comes out in front of the plate directly in his path to home plate. So you really can't fault either guy. Kemp is playing aggressively, doing what he felt he needed to do. Robinson got the out, and I think might have expected a little less contact. Can't blame Robinson for feeling that way based on the kind of the intent of the new rule. And certainly can't find fault with Matt Kemp either, who's just playing hard, aggressive baseball.
Both suspended for a game by Major League Baseball afterward, not for the play, but for their reaction when they started pushing and shoving a little bit. Robbie's already served his 1 game. Rangers had Thursday off following that contest in Los Angeles. Robinson then served the suspension on Friday, did not play yesterday, so this is his first game back. And he takes outside and low, 2-2. That was his first career ejection on Wednesday, and he was afterwards, a little remorseful about it. Such a good guy, and I think we said it at the time that of all the people on the team, he's the last guy you would expect to get in the middle of anything, but that was a big time adrenaline rush, no doubt.
No matter how mild-mannered you are in the heat of battle, you can show a different side too. And when you've had the concussions that Robinson has had behind the plate on foul balls, foul tips off the mask, you've had those kind of injuries, you know how precarious your health is as a catcher. in that particular play, I think he probably hoped for a little less contact, and can't blame him for feeling that way.
Emily, you have more on this?
Yeah, he didn't play yesterday because he was still sore from the collision. I asked him today specifically what was hurting, and he said it was his neck. He said he didn't realize how hard his head hit the ground when it snapped back when his helmet was off during the collision until he went and watched the video. But he said he was pretty sore, and considering his history, as you guys mentioned, with concussions, it was a bit alarming for him. So he feels like he's finally able to get back behind the plate and play today.
That's good to see. Kemp is, what, 6'3", 230 pounds,
Yep.
going full speed. It's a pretty severe collision.
1-1 to Guzman, and he fouls it away. Well, Gray has 4 straight strikeouts now, and Gray has induced 9 swings and misses so far, so his stuff has been pretty good. 1-2, and that'll even it up. Guzman dropping into the 9th spot in the order today, the average of 220, but 7 home runs. And here's another guy who's done a good job lately just getting on base. He's reached in 7 of his last 21 plate appearances. Stays alive at 2-2. Guzman's at bat will complete the first tour through the Rangers lineup today for Gray. And so far he's looked pretty sharp. There's a swing and a miss, and 5 straight strikeouts for Gray. 6 overall. We've played 3 complete. Rangers trail 1-0. Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by GMC. Visit your local GMC dealer. Three innings in, 1-0 Rockies. We've only had 2 hits in this game. And Giovanni Gallardo back to work here in the 4th inning. He's been pretty good. Up and in. Just missed Arenado. Ball 1. And if Arenado was a little drowsy or anything like that coming into the at-bat, he is certainly awake now. That'll alert the senses. 2-0 the count. Arenado struck out in the 1st inning, 0 for 1. Mentioning it earlier when he came up, he is one of the better all-round hitters in the National League.
Nice pitch on 2-0. Not a fastball. A curveball. You can get away with location on a 2-0 curveball that you wouldn't get away with in a different count. Hitter's looking for a fastball, works like a changeup. He was out in front of it. You hang it up in a different part of the count, you might get a different swing.
I pop up right field. Mazzara coming in and toward the line. Lots of sun out there. And he'll put it away. 1 out here in the 4th inning. Gives us a chance to pause for a word from our friends at Southwest Kia.
At Southwest Kia, we've made car buying easy. $250 down delivers, monthly payments $250 a month or less. SouthwestKia.com.
And here is Carlos Gonzalez. Gonzalez finished the 1st inning with a kind of a soft line out to short, but it looked off the bat like it might just find some outfield grass for a hit. It really was a nice play by Profar to lunge out and catch it on a dive. A little tight 2-0.
After Giovanni went 13-11 with a 3.40 ERA for the Rangers in 2015, he struggled the next couple of years. 1 year with Baltimore, 1 year with Seattle. Don't know if he was entirely healthy in each one of those 2 seasons. This year he was with Milwaukee, was with Cincinnati early in the season, had to go back to the minor leagues with the Rangers for about 9 or 10 starts. But just looking at the 3 1/3 innings he's thrown today, he looks as good now as he did in 2015. I don't know how he threw at AAA, but he's definitely working quicker. There's been a number of times today where he was ready to throw and the hitter wasn't quite ready. And
right
I
there.
don't.
Right there. I think Gonzalez was like, hang on. It's a little too quick for my liking. Oh, and maybe that too. An umbrella.
Someone lost their umbrella. But I don't remember him working that quickly in 2015. Probably not the last couple of years. That seems to be a real positive development in his pitching career. Working quickly. I think it's, at least today, benefiting him, benefiting the defense. His velocity looks at least as good, if not a tick better than it was in 2015. Most of his fastballs have been 92, occasionally 93 miles an hour. His cut fastball, he's thrown 5 or 6 at 88 or 89 miles an hour that have been very good. Just the beginning of the game, but so far so good. Looks good.
It's his first walk of the game. So a man on here with 1 out. Let's check in again with Emily.
Yeah, progressive fan of the game time, and of course we had to give it to a dad since it's Father's Day, Brad Strauss, and we thought we would bring in his 2 biggest fans to tell us why your dad deserves fan of the game. What makes your dad so great, Jordan?
He always helps out, and he's always awesome.
He's always awesome. And what about you, Gabe? What do you think is great about your dad?
He always helps me play baseball with him. With me.
With you, yes. Well, I think that's deserving. Don't you think he deserves fan of the game? Okay, let's reach down here and get him this bag. Brad Strauss, congratulations and happy Father's Day.
Oh, I appreciate it.
You're very
Thanks
welcome, guys. Happy Father's Day to you too, fellas.
Thanks, Em.
Happy Father's Day.
You know, and congratulations to him, by the way, for always being awesome. I mean, it's one thing to have a good
If you
Father's
ask my
Day.
kids when they were a little bit too young why their father was awesome,
yeah,
they both would have said, because he let us watch Animal House. I've been taking heat for a long time for that. To this day, they say that.
Where was Kathy? Did she know? Or you just...
She wasn't home.
Oh man! So you were. Just...
And I hadn't. I had seen the movie. It was not a real good move on my part, but I go by the philosophy: they're going to hear it, they're going to see it. As long as you know when it's appropriate and when it's not appropriate, then you kind of deal with it. So that's probably more information than you needed to know. But my kids would say that I was awesome too, and that would be the reason they would cite.
I think that's pretty awesome. I'm trying to recreate the scene.
I'm definitely not recommending that anyone watching this game go watch Animal House. So don't say Tom Grief said to watch Animal House.
Take the youngsters.
And if you're like under 16 or whatever, don't expect your father to let you do it. That was a flaw. Nice job of hitting right there. Ball out over the plate. Sharply hit line drive. I've been very impressed in our first look up close at Trevor Story. The power, the speed, quickness, arm strength, agility at shortstop. That's a terrific young shortstop.
A couple of base runners now for Gerardo Parra. And he'll take up and away ball 1. And Parra, he has been very good with runners in scoring position this year. 8th in the National League with a .333 average in these spots. He has Gonzalez at second, Story at first. So a big spot for Gallardo, and he buries that one. It's 2-0. Trevino out for a moment. So mound visit burned, which still has not really ended up being an issue for anyone, at least in a game that we have seen. 6 mound visits a game, and then 1 for every extra inning. Parra, adept in these spots at getting runs home, but he has also excelled. I mean, he's a left-handed hitter, and he does, for a lot of his career, he's kind of platooned in the outfield because he hits righties well, and he is 6th in the National League with a .324 average against right-handed pitching. And he lines this one into center field. That's a base hit. Gonzalez around third. They will send him a double pump, and DeShields had no play at the plate. So that's an RBI single by Parr to make it 2-0. It looked like Delano. I'm not sure if he just got caught there between wanting to throw and not knowing whether or not he should throw.
I think he charged the ball, wanting to throw it. And then when he caught the ball, he realized there's no play at the plate, decided not to throw, and then got the ball back into the infield. And right now he realizes there's no throw, but I have to get the ball in. There's a cutoff man right there. I'll hit him with the ball and keep men at first and second rather than risk a high throw and having the runners move up a base. There's not going to be a chance to get Gonzalez at the plate.
Now Ian Desmond, 2-0 the score. Desmond wanted to pledge Delta House, but I don't think it went the way he wanted.
Parents wouldn't let him.
Yeah, parents wouldn't let him.
The good part of that story, the last part of the story, neither one of the boys who watched that movie when they were too young would ever let their kids do the same thing. So I taught them how not to talk, how not to act, and what movies not to let your kids watch. It turned out to be a positive lesson.
You sound just like my dad used to sound. He used to always say that. He said, see, the deal I struck with your mom was I would show you what not to do, and she would teach you what to do.
Yeah, I'd like to say that was a deal that I had with my wife, but it's not.
Soft line drive over second. That is a base hit for Desmond. Story rounding third. He'll score. Here comes a throw to third base, and this one gets away. It also allows Desmond to go to second base.
And that one hit the base runner, Parra, going into third base. He's trying to shake it off now. Strong throw from Mazzara that actually had a shot. It was going to be a close play. But as the ball came down, it got there the same time as the runner. And it looked like it hit him somewhere in the arm. Fortunately, didn't carry him away too far. You'll see the runner going around second to score. Here comes Parra to third. A strong throw. Looked like it hit him in the arm. He's going to stay in the game.
Arm, oh yeah, right on the back of the right elbow. So with that throw, then Desmond moved to second. RBI single for him. It's 3-0 Colorado. Now the 8th place hitter, Tom Murphy. Murphy flying out to center field in the second inning and falls behind here 0-1.
Giovanni got a quick out here in the fourth. So through 3 1/3, everything was pretty much going his way. After the home run by LeMahieu, the only hit was the infield hit by Desmond off his glove. But then after one out, the walk to Gonzalez kind of started it all. 3 straight singles.
1-1 on Murphy. 27-year-old catcher called up from AAA Albuquerque not quite a week ago. His first go round with the Rockies so far this year. Now he's hit in every game in which he has played since getting called up. That's 4 games so far. Today is 5th. He is a free swinger. Last year they were pretty excited about him going into spring training, but suffered a broken wrist and forearm in spring training. It cost him a couple of months of playing time and really never did get on track after that. Good power, but he can be a little aggressive. He swings and misses to make it 2-2. Well, we have seen Murphy catch 2 games in this series. They have the veteran Chris Iannetta, who caught yesterday. It looks like they're trying to Get him a couple of reps anyway here in this interleague series. 2-2 pitch and a bouncer shortstop. Profar will go to third, and they will get Ian Desmond. So the run scores. Pollard comes in from third base, but Desmond, a little bit of a base running mistake there, and runs into an out.
Well, the ball is behind him, but it turned into an easy out for Profar. Pick up a run, but get the lead runner instead of the man at first base. Keep a runner from being in scoring position right now.
Foul ball by Ryan McMahon. 3 runs in the inning. Fielder's choice goes 6-5. Murphy over there at first. And after 3 pretty efficient innings for Giovanni Gallardo, he's thrown 25 pitches already this inning. And they can make it 26.
And pretty much double the total from the innings before it. And even with the high pitch count, the fact that he's working quickly doesn't make it feel that way.
Well, needs one more out to get through this 4th. Looks like they want it upstairs, and a swing and a miss. McMahon strikes out for the final out of the 4th, but a 3-run frame for the Rockies, and they extend their lead to 4-0. The next Texas Chili Company Dollar Hot Dog Night is going to be Wednesday, June 27th. Padres will be in town to take on the Rangers. Come on out to Globe Life Park. Enjoy those ballpark hot dogs, just $1 each. Check it out at TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS. Father's Day today, as we just mentioned, the Padres. Seems like they should win every year on this day. Chu leads it off here in the 4th inning. Chu struck out in the 1st inning, and Gray has really settled into a groove.
Yeah, he's had good off-speed pitches. Starts Chu off with a couple of off-speed pitches. He's gotten some strikeouts with his slider. And he's throwing a lot of strikes. I was interested in what Emily said about Chu and what he's trying to do. Wait on the ball and not be afraid to get jammed. And that's what Ted Williams used to preach. He said you can't go to the plate if you're afraid to get jammed. And the reason he said that is he likes the hitter to wait as long as he can rather than jump out and try to pull the ball. Probably not a coincidence that that's the way Chu is hitting and having so much success.
That's 6 straight strikeouts now for Gray.
And it's been a pretty good assortment of pitches. That looks like a changeup right there. In his career, Gray has struck out almost 10 batters per 9 innings. So strikeouts are not something new to him. One interesting statistic on him, Dave, I'm not sure if you've mentioned this or not. The fact that on balls put in play against him, the batting average is .374, which is extremely high. In fact, there's not a higher one in all of Major League Baseball. And to analytics type people, there it is, called BABIP, batted balls in play. Batting average on balls in play, excuse me, .374 would suggest there's been a little bit of bad luck involved. And I think if the balls put in play against him, if that average comes down and approaches what's normal, and he continues to throw the ball the way he's throwing it, then his results should get even better in the second half of the season.
Right, you see that number and you think like, whoa, hey, maybe if we can just put a few in play, we'll get a bunch of base runners and have a good day. Or you could look at that and say like, uh-oh,
yeah,
this guy's been a lot better than his numbers would even indicate.
Yeah. Yeah, you look at his walk totals, they're, you know, pretty solid, about 3 per 9 innings. It's nothing alarming or no reason why you should have a high ERA because of his walk totals.
Ground ball up the middle, and there's a base hit, and the first base runner of the ball game for the Rangers.
There you go. And his home run totals aren't that bad. I think he's given up 8 home runs in 76 innings, which is not that bad. But they've gotten a lot of hits on balls in play. Well, I guess you have to put the ball in play to get a hit, don't you? That looked like a hanging slider, stayed up, and Delino shot that ground ball up the middle for a base hit. First time the Rangers have made contact in 6 at-bats.
So there you go. They put it in play. They got a base hit.
Yeah. Put the ball in play. Easier said than done so far against Gray.
So Delino will take his lead, and it brings up Nomar Mazara. There goes Delino. Pitches high to throw down to second, also high. And to Shields with his 14th stolen base.
Well, even though the Rangers are down in this game, you still want to start pecking away and scoring runs. So when one of your best offensive assets is the speed of Delino to Shields, don't let the score get in the way. Let him do his thing. Get in scoring position and try to get on the board.
The Rangers have been good with runners in scoring position in this series, 6 for 14. Trying to break through here against John Gray. First time today that Gray has had to deal with a base runner of any kind. So that can sometimes be a real game changer. He's been from the windup all day until the hit by DeShields. Now from the stretch. And this one lined out to left field. That's a base hit. DeShields will score easily. So Mazara with the RBI single gets the Rangers on the board, and it's 4-1.
The Rockies strung together a nice rally in the 4th inning, walk in 3 straight singles. The Rangers trying to answer that rally with one of their own. So the base hit by Delino and then the stolen base leads to a run. Nice job by Nomar going the other way with that line drive to pick up the Rangers' first run. RBI number 43 for Nomar.
So now Profar 0 for 1. And people check in on Mazara, who wouldn't figure to be a real threat to run. Mazara does have a stolen base this year. It's 1 attempt. So anything's possible, but Profar, of course, lately has been hitting the ball with some power. 1 for 4 yesterday with a run scored. That one high. That will bring Murphy out to the mound. First mound visit of the day. Gray's a big guy, 6'4", 230 pounds. He grew up in Oklahoma and always wanted to be a Sooner. Not a baseball Sooner. In Oklahoma, there's only one kind of Sooner. And that's on the gridiron. And he and his brother played together in high school. His older brother Jack was a quarterback, and John was a receiver. His brother went on to play college football at Northeastern State in Oklahoma. But John figured out at some point, he was like, well, wait a minute, I'm really good at baseball. And he's getting a lot of interest. And so his senior year gave up football and then went the junior college route before eventually working his way to the University of Oklahoma to play baseball. And so he did become a Sooner before the Rockies drafted him in the first round, 3rd pick overall. 1-0 and a swing and a miss. Talking about runners in scoring position, both these teams have done a good job. That last hit by Nomar makes the Rangers now 7 for 15. Now the trick is to get him into scoring position. Chopper second base, backing up on it, LeMahieu, and that took just enough time to prevent the double play. They retire Mazara 2 away.
Second baseman,
The Chicago White Sox take on the Texas Rangers Saturday, June 30th. 8:05 game. First 15,000 fans. Get a Roogie and Smokey bobblehead. That's Smokey the Horse, courtesy of Golden Chick. I can't imagine a bobblehead more essentially Texan than that.
Yeah, it has a chance to be one of the most popular bobbleheads.
I would think so.
Number one, it looks just like Roogie, I think. And it's got his horse there. So you don't even have to be a baseball fan. You could be an animal lover and like that bobblehead.
Or you could just like toys.
Or you could just like Roogie.
I just want a toy. It's pretty cool. Anyway, TexasRangers.com. There it is. There's Roogie. One of his 2 horses that he got when he signed his contract last year. Smokey. So 2 out here. Roogie would like to smoke one right here and make it a 1-run game. He's only hit the 1 home run so far this year. Taken on profile. He has stolen 4 bases. Jurickson perfect 4 for 4 this year. We saw Delino taken off on the first pitch after he had reached. Rockies obviously with some concern that the Rangers might continue to be aggressive. Not going. 0-2 on Odor. Seen some pretty marked improvement for Roogie.
It really is. If you look at the last 21 games, it's not that it's spectacular. 264 average, 341 on base percentage. But when you compare it to what it was in the first 20 plus games, it's a dramatic improvement and hopefully something that will lead to even more.
Tough pop up over at third, but Arenado tucks it away and the inning is done. Well, Rangers get on the board. The RBI single by Mazzara. It's a 4-1 game.
Breakdown. Let's look at DJ LeMahieu in yesterday's ballgame. 6'4", 220 pounds, showing that kind of agility to make a spectacular play up the middle. And then leading off the game today on the 3rd pitch, a line shot down the left field line off the foul pole for a home run. A guy who is a Gold Glove caliber defensive player at second base, a former batting champion, and one of the better all-around players that maybe doesn't get as much publicity as he deserves, at least anywhere other than Colorado. He's a terrific player.
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement. It's not a name you hear bandied about a lot on the national stage. It's awfully good player.
Especially on this team when you've got Charlie Blackmon, Nolan Arenado, Trevor Story's been a great story for a young player. Does get overshadowed a little bit.
1-1 the count to LeMahieu. Ronnie Gallardo in his 2018 Rangers debut today, and he has done a pretty nice job. Ran into a little trouble last inning.
Oh, you look at the role he plays, the kind of player he is. He resembles Michael Young in a lot of respects. Michael was a 300 hitter. Michael won a Gold Glove as a shortstop. They both do similar things on the field. Michael wasn't quite as big as LeMahieu, but he wasn't little, and he was very agile defensively as well.
And Gallardo got him looking.
Second time in a row after the home run that he got LeMahieu looking. He's not very happy with the call.
Center fielder,
bottom of the strike zone, just on the corner. Saw that pitch called a couple of times in yesterday's ball game.
So 1 out here with the 5th inning. Gallardo will go after Charlie Blackmon. A fly out and a ground out for Blackmon. Big, strong left-handed hitter. Blackmon last year the leadoff man for the Rockies and had a phenomenal year as their leadoff hitter. This year batting second. And well, that is, he put up numbers last year that would say, yeah, he's the best hitter they have in this lineup. And all the math says put your best hitter there in the 2-hole. And so that's what they have done. Now, they have not been as good a team this year as they were last year. But Black continues to go with that. And part of it, he says Blackmon likes hitting second. LeMahieu likes batting leadoff. So their comfort level and the logic of putting your best hitter second, they'll continue to go with it for a while. But I'd be interested to see if that might change at some point this year.
Third baseman Nolan Arenado.
Blackmon draws the 4-pitch walk, and it brings up Nolan Arenado. Arenado struck out in the 1st and flied out in the 4th inning. He's 0 for 2. Well, we mentioned earlier that Gallardo with Round Rock went 2-1 with a 3.81 ERA. That's a very difficult league in which to pitch. Usually the numbers aren't very good, but he pitched well in his 10 starts. One of the things that stood out from the numbers too, he'd allowed just the 1 home run all year. Of course, then 3 pitches into today's game, he gave up a home run, but that's all. He hasn't been hurt since on a long ball. He was throwing over 60% of his pitches for strikes with Round Rock. Today he's been attacking the zone. And it's off the plate, 1-1. The year started, Gallardo in the offseason signed a deal with Milwaukee, and it was a major league deal. It was right around Christmas time last year. Spring training with the Brewers, went 0-1 and had an ERA approaching 5 games. He was released right at the end of spring training, and the Reds signed him. But then it didn't take too long. It made 3 relief appearances with Cincinnati, and the Reds designated him for assignment about a week after acquiring him. And when he was assigned to AAA Louisville, he rejected the assignment. He had that ability contractually, so he rejected the assignment, and the Rangers swooped in and signed him to a minor league deal. Back here basically at home for Gallardo. You mentioned earlier Trimble Tech in Fort Worth, still a Fort Worth resident, grew up here, still lives here. Over there to first base again. He keeps a close eye on Blackmon. Rangers have made, I don't know what, about 45 roster moves this week, and so part of it today was Brandon Mann was optioned back to Round Rock. One-two pitch, and this one lined over third but foul. See all the years for Gallardo, who is I think it's the all-time strikeout leader in Milwaukee. Holds their franchise record. Had a great year here, made all 33 starts in 2015. Last couple of years haven't been quite as kind. Gallardo trying to reprove himself.
Hey, Gallardo was one of the top pitchers in the National League back then. He made at least 30 starts and had at least 180 innings, 6 straight years with Milwaukee. Struck out 200 batters or more 4 times. A little more of a dominating pitcher back then because his fastball had 3 or 4 more miles per hour. But he was healthy and making a lot of starts over a relatively long period of time. He's right near the top.
Throw over again, and Blackman getting dirty over there. Originally a second-round pick by the Brewers in 2004. Right out of high school.
Scouts used to talk when he was at Trimble Tech about how many pitches he threw in high school. He did a lot of pitching his senior year of high school. Turned out to be, I think, a second-round draft choice by Milwaukee.
Fly ball out to left field. Back goes Gallo, and that one off the fence into third base. Blackman, and they will stop him there. It's a double for Arenado. Rockies have second and third.
Well, in the 4th inning, Giovanni got the first out and then walked Gonzalez, which led to a big rally and 3 straight hits. Struck out LeMahieu to start the 5th and then walked Blackman, and hopefully this won't turn into the same kind of an inning after the 1-out walk. You got good hitters coming up.
10th extra base hit of the series by the Rockies. And here comes Doug Brocail, Rangers pitching coach, out there to have a quick word with Gallardo. No picnic here in the heart of the order with Gonzalez and Trevor Story coming up. Pitch count now at 84 for Gallardo. We saw this, what, a couple of days ago. It was yesterday, in fact. Time flies. And Minor had 2 men on second and third base in the 7th inning.
Nobody out.
And nobody out. Yeah, eventually he would load the bases with 1 out, and he got out of the inning without any trouble. He got a couple of pop-outs that were just huge in terms of getting him through that frame. Gallardo going to have to try and turn a similar trick here. Swing and a miss by Gonzalez is strike 1.
Yeah, good judging by that swing. That was a good choice of pitches. Gonzalez going up there trying to drive the ball, got a breaking ball instead, and was way out in front of it. He's been swinging a good bat.
Corners are in. He takes a little inside. 1-1. See the middle of the infield back deep, but also shaded for Gonzalez to pull. And you're right. Carlos Gonzalez on a hot stretch right now, 15 games where he's hitting over 350. Southwest bullpen live look as Alex Claudio getting it heated up out there and in a hurry. Blackman at third, Arenado at second base. And it's a little tall there. 2-2. Things have slowed down a little bit now for Gallardo. Boy, he was working at a really rapid clip in the first 3 innings. Labored in the 4th. This will be the 20th pitch here in the 5th inning, and he buries that one. It's a full count. The 5th 3-ball count and the 4th time that he has gone full to a Rockies hitter today. Walk Gonzalez in the 4th inning, and here it comes. There's a swing and a bouncer right side. Odor will have just 1 play. They get Gonzalez, concede the run. It's 5-1 Rockies, but there are 2 out in the inning. Well, the Rangers and Dr. Pepper are teaming up to bring you savings at the ballpark this year. Just bring a Dr. Pepper can to the box office or use the online coupon code Dr. Pepper. Get your tickets starting at just $11. Go to TexasRangers.com/specials and get your tickets for June 25th through the 27th. The San Diego Padres in town taking on your Rangers. More interleague play. Now with 2 outs here with the 5th inning, it's Trevor Story, and he'll pull it foul for strike 1. Well, one of the rising superstars in the National League, Trevor Story, 1 for 2 today.
Yeah, until you get a chance to see a guy play in person, sometimes you don't appreciate the talent that he has. But I think he's been very impressive. Not just the performance, but the tools that he has. Yesterday he showed off his arm several times. Plus arm strength, his agility, his speed. You know he's got power. And he's been swinging the bat very well too. Last 115 at bats, he's hitting over 320. Pretty extended period of time.
1-2 the count. His rookie year was cut short by injury, and yet 51 home runs through his first 2 major league seasons. That's the most by a shortstop in major league history. He swings and hits this one on the ground. Shortstop Profar circles it, throws. Good dig over at first by Guzman, and the inning is done. Rockies add a run, though. We're halfway there this afternoon, and the Rockies lead the Rangers 5-1.
Welcome you back to Globe Life Park in Arlington, and we've talked about the World Cup and how it's a big player in the Rangers clubhouse. The TVs were on today. Cole Hamels organized a pool to where the guys got to select different teams, and in the true spirit of the World Cup, these made an appearance in the clubhouse today.
Oh, fun.
A big box of vuvuzelas, guys.
Wow.
That's impressive.
Is that easy, or do you have to have some talent?
It's easy, but it's so fun. You should get one.
Wow.
I don't know why it's so fun to me, but it is.
You never thought you could make that kind of noise.
Let's hear it again. Come on, Em. Gather yourself.
Done.
Well, you got us laughing now.
Yeah, I hope you're bringing one of those on the plane today. Well, actually, I hope you don't. Here's the pitch to Kiner Falefa. It's a strike. 2-2 the count. So some
Might be an inning or 2 before we can get Emily back on. Gonna be getting over that laugh.
Line shot center field by Kiner Falefa. Lead man on here in the 5th inning for the Rangers. Well, speaking of the World Cup, Tom, live coverage of the FIFA World Cup continues tomorrow. 6 a.m. it's Sweden versus Korea Republic. That's South Korea, basically. 9 a.m. Belgium and Panama. And then noon, Tunisia and England.
You know why that one's highlighted, right?
Say again?
You know why that one's highlighted, Tunisia and England?
Because
Steve's got it right.
Because that's your team?
Yeah. England's my team. I'm going to be watching that one.
I didn't realize that Fox cared that much. That's awesome.
I didn't until we did the 23andMe exercise.
This one foul out of play by Gallup. Well, why didn't they highlight my Sweden and South Korea? That's not right. Why do you get
Because
fouled?
I went with my ancestry. You went with...
It's my ancestry. I'm 5%.
Well...
Ops feet.
That's okay. That's okay. I don't know why they didn't highlight it then. There's already been some pretty incredible games.
Yeah. Well,
Did you see Messi get denied on his penalty kick the other day by Iceland?
I did.
How can Iceland tie that team?
That's just it. It's great.
You know how many people live in Iceland?
I don't know.
It's like 375,000 people.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not exactly sure, but something like that.
Did you see their roster, Iceland's roster? I think every single name ended SON.
Huh.
Erickson. Whateverson. Josephson. Like every single one is. There's. I mean, obviously, there.
Well, maybe that's the key to putting a good team together. Then.
But it goes.
Boy, he had a great jump. There was going to be no play at second base if that pitch got to the catcher. The Rangers not afraid to run. Delino stole second base down 4-0, and it led to a run. After Delino stole second, Nomar singled to left center field, and that was a run. So Isaiah Kiner-Falefa trying to do the same thing here.
Definitely a sense that they can run on the Rockies today. Portugal beat Spain. I saw that the other day. That was a big win. Today, Mexico over Germany 1-0. That was, I think that's regarded a bit of an upset. It's big news for Mexico, and it's going to make things a little tougher now for Germany, the defending champs. 2-2 to Joey Gallo. Now, will this be England's first game tomorrow?
I think so. Be, right? If it's not, I'll be embarrassed because I said I was going to follow it.
All right, no more questions on that. Then.
Okay.
I'll give you time. You just give me the high sign when you feel like, hey, go ahead, shoot away. Any question on England, I'm all
right,
set.
don't hold your breath.
Kiner-Falefa continues to take off. Gallo extending the at-bat with another foul ball.
Well, John Gray strung together 6 straight strikeouts. The last 5 hitters in the lineup, and then Chu in the top of the 4th, and now it's been 5 hitters. He hasn't had one since then, so maybe his strikeouts are going to be down a little bit from here on in. The Rangers can score some runs.
Well, gets that one past Gallo, 1 away here. Time for a Chevy game break as we check in again with Dana Larson. Dana, did you pick a team? Did Dana, select a team?
I don't know.
For Roots?
Who's your team, Dana? Ah, okay.
Well, that makes sense. I like that.
Emily had a team, but she bowed out when her stuff got stolen. She lost her shirt, lost her scarf. We're going to have to bring in Inspector Clouseau to try to solve that one.
Well, Gray really working Kiner-Falefa. Trevino's up there now waiting to see a pitch. Not going. The pitch up and in on Chirinos. Gray now at 70 pitches. He's slowed down a little bit.
Taking a long time to find a sign with nobody on second base.
Good pitch, 1-1 to Chirinos. I need to correct myself, by the way. Portugal and Spain, they drew 3-3. And so the thing about the World Cup is you got to find the game that Andres Cantor is calling.
See the guy that does the great goal?
Yeah, he's unbelievable. His call of Ronaldo's game-tying kick the other day was outstanding. Of course, I don't even understand what he's saying.
Yeah, you don't need to, really.
No, you don't at all. Again, a good lead. He bluffs, and the pitch taken a little high, 2-1. Great with that long hair all over the place. Notable hair, I would say. One of the first things you notice about the guy, aside from his stature. Big, strong kid from Oklahoma. Well, there goes Kiner Falefa. The throw down there in time and gets him easily. 2 away.
Well, Kiner Falefa had a couple of good jumps. Colorado sniffed it out, went with a pitch out, and that allowed Murphy to get into the throwing position. Perfect pitch to throw on and deliver the strike to second base.
Trevino takes a strike, and it's a full count. So the leadoff single, but then the strikeout and the caught stealing. Well, the threat taken out of the inning, and now strike 3 call. That one fired right down the middle. And it's a quiet bottom of the 5th. We'll go to the 6th inning. Rockies lead the Rangers 5-1. To T-Mobile, fans can receive a 20% discount on tickets in the all-you-can-eat seats in the Home Run Porch on Fridays. You can get your tickets in the all-you-can-eat seats for June 29th. White Sox will be in town to face the Rangers. Just use coupon code T-Mobile. TexasRangers.com/specials. Mike Gallardo out here for a 6th inning. You'll see Gerardo Parra, Ian Desmond, and Tom Murphy. Gallardo's pitch count at 94. This is his first appearance as a Ranger this year. Just called up.
His last AAA start, he threw 110 pitches, and that was 8 days ago. So he's had plenty of rest and shouldn't have a problem if he can pitch well this inning, getting through it as far as his pitch count goes.
Parra has a base hit. Drove a run in the 4th inning. He also grounded out. Takes a low, 2-0. Final game of the series. Final game on a very quick 3-game homestand. Rangers had been in LA earlier in the week. Came home for these 3, and they're back out to the road. Tomorrow they'll be in Kansas City. We'll see a little bit of the Central Division this next week. .30 pitch, and that one's tight, and Parra takes his base. A 4-pitch walk to start the 6th inning.
Well, the last couple of innings with 1 out, Giovanni has walked a batter, and both times that led to a rally and a run.
It's the 8th time in this series that the leadoff man has reached for the Rockies. And the previous 7 times they have managed to get 6 of them home. So it's an ominous sign. It's also the end of the day for Giovanni Gallardo. Here comes Alex Claudio when we return. That's featuring this bullpen. It has been excellent. Since May 25th, only the Yankees have a lower earned run average from their relievers, 2.05 for the Rangers. And all the other numbers really good, including that very tiny one at the bottom. 4 of 22 inherited runners allowed to score. That's one of the real big numbers as we look at Alex Claudio.
Yeah, that's where Jose Leclerc has shined this year, not allowing base runners to score when he comes into a ball game. And in this game, with John Gray throwing as well as he is, that'll be an assignment for Alex Claudio. Keep Parra from scoring after the leadoff walk.
So Gallardo done. Walked a batter here in the 6th inning, 98 pitches, and there's a ground ball shortstop to second one. Odor on to first, double play. Just like that, Alex Claudio does what he has done so well here, and that is get a ground ball and get a double play.
Well, Parra's not going to score, that's for sure. That's exactly what you were looking for right there. Rockies had put up a long inning in the 4th, pretty long inning in the 5th, and Alex Claudio trying to make sure they don't do it again in the 6th.
Hmm, 6-4-3 cleans the bases, and now here's Tom Murphy, and he takes strike one. Murphy reached on a fielder's choice in the 4th inning. It did get a run home. And rolls this one on the ground, third base. And Kiner Falefa with a little extra time throws him out. And it completes a scoreless 6th inning. Nice job by Alex Claudio. To the last of the 6th we go. Rangers trail by 4.
Who has been outstanding in this ball game. He's had a good fastball, but really good off-speed pitches. A lot of strikeouts with his slider. He had a stretch in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th inning where he struck out 6 straight batters, most of them on off-speed pitches, and then finished off the 5th inning with a couple of more strikeouts. So in the game, he's not walked a batter. He struck out 9. Rangers have had 3 hits and a run against him. So through 5 innings, outstanding effort. Probably one of his best efforts of the year so far, but we'll see how he can fare after the 5th inning.
Yeah, because once he gets done with Guzman here, whatever happens, then he's seeing the lineup for a 3rd time. And sometimes we see teams make good adjustments, gather a little intel, and maybe really get after a fella at that point. Hopefully the Rangers can do something like that. Guzman takes a strike. It's 2-1. So the last start for Gray was at Philly, and he struck out 10 in that one. Swinging and a miss, evens a count at 2-2.
They're showing Ronald Guzman a pretty good assortment of slower pitches.
In the dirt, full count. Well, Gray has 3 games this year of 10 or more strikeouts, and he has 12 in his career. Only Pedro Estacio has more in Rockies history. Pedro Estacio had 15 games of 10 or more strikeouts. Ubaldo Jimenez as an example. Remember when Ubaldo came up with the Rockies, he was an absolute sensation. He only had 10 such games in his Rockies career. So Gray, one of the great strikeout pitchers in their franchise's history, and he walks Ronald Guzman to start this 6th inning. All right, and now it's that 3rd time through the order.
Designated hitter Shin-Soo
Well, during this 30-game streak for Chu, it's been pretty rare that we have gone as late as the 6th inning looking for him to reach base, but that's the case here. 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. He has reached in 30 consecutive ball games, usually multiple times. Takes low.
Career best for Shin-Soo, the longest active streak going in Major League Baseball, and during that streak he's been on base 47% of the time. He's at a slugging percentage of .564. His OPS is .1039. Though he's been hitting, he's had 7 home runs in the streak. He's walked 31 times in 30 games. When a guy's walking that much, you can understand why you'd have the streak when you combine it with a guy who's also hitting .327. Been a tough out. Got his on base percentage for the season up to .387. That's 7th in the American League now.
Fouled away, 2-1 the count.
Gray's pitches by inning. The toughest inning he had was the fourth. That's the inning in which the Rangers scored their run, and he only used 18 pitches in that one. Well, he's been pretty efficient. 2-2 the count.
We talked about his off-speed pitches, which have been good today. He throws the slider more than any other off-speed pitch, but he's thrown some pretty good curveballs in this game as well. But he has a good fastball. Velocity on his last fastball was 95. He's up to 86 pitches, still throwing hard on a hot day. 92 degrees right now. Command's maybe showing some signs of going in the other direction for him, though. Leadoff walk was his first walk of the game. And now with Chu up there 3-2, in danger of walking the first two guys here in the sixth inning.
Oh, big payoff pitch, and it's on the way. Bouncer through into right field. That's a base hit. Guzman, well, he didn't pick up the stop sign in time, heads to third, and that throw gets away. Guzman heads to the plate. Gray won't even attempt to throw. Guzman is in. Chu to second. And the Rangers pick up a run. It's 5-2. The streak now at 31 games for Shin-Soo Choo.
I got a little worried when Guzman went around second base and down by 4 runs in this game decided to go to third, but it all worked out very well. Ball just by the first baseman McMahon. Ronald looked like he was going to stop, but had already committed himself and was going to be able to have wasn't going to be able to slow down that big body. Fortunately, the throw in from Gonzalez was not accurate. An accurate throw to third base, they had a decent chance to get Guzman.
A single, an E9, no RBI, and now DeShields showing bunt. Run is in, 5-2 the score. Delano fouled out in the first inning, and then he singled and scored a run in the fourth. Gray ready, and there's a bunt third base side. It's a good one. Gray with a bare hand throws to first. It goes off LeMahieu's glove, and everybody is safe. Well, that's a curious one. LeMahieu, such a sure-handed second baseman, covering the bag, and that is an error on LeMahieu. A sacrifice credited to Delano DeShields. The Rangers have him on the corner.
Yeah, LeMahieu is going to be on the run to get to first base, so he's there waiting, but he's not a first baseman, so he sees the runner coming down. He's not quite screened out, but he's on the verge of being screened out as Delano gets close to first base, and then you've got Gray throwing a sidearm sinker at about 95 miles an hour at him just as Delano gets to first base. So it is an error, but it's not a blatant drop of a ball when you consider how hard it's going. You've got the runner to contend with, and you're not a first baseman to begin with.
Opens up the opportunity now for a big inning. Nomar Mazara, bouncer, and that one is through. Chu is in. DeShields with his great speed into third, and they'll stop him there. Mazara with the RBI single, and it's 5-3.
Well, the walk earlier in the game in the fourth inning set up a 3-run rally for the Rockies, and the leadoff walk here in the sixth inning, the only walk that Gray has started a nice little rally for the Rangers. They've had 2 base hits, 2 softly hit ground balls that have just evaded the first baseman holding on the runner into right field for base hits. One by Chu, and now this RBI single by Mazara.
Jake McGee loosening up in their bullpen. All right, here is Profar now. Runner still on the corners, nobody out. And Profar launches this one high in the air, deep to right field. Gone! Jurickson Profar, his 8th of the season. And just like that, the tide has turned here at Globe Life Park.
Well, if you're the Rockies, you got to be a little bit shell-shocked after this rally. It all started with a leadoff walk. Gray was throwing a terrific game. We showed him 9 strikeouts through 5 innings in the Ford-game summary. And since that Ford-game summary, it's been a walk, 3 hits, an error, and 6 runs. What an unbelievable change in fortune for John Gray.
Well, he is done, and the Rockies have to go to their bullpen here in the 6th. In the 6th inning, and once again, Jurickson Profar turns in another big at bat.
He's starting to show some power. That's a ball that is actually tailing away from him. Now it's up, but still it's on the outside corner, and he hits a high fly ball out of the ballpark to right field, right center field. That's another long home run for Jurickson. We mentioned that before that home run, 3 of his last 4 or 5 home runs had gone over 420 feet. He was swinging the bat so well right-handed. Now he's starting to launch some long home runs left-handed too.
Well, and you feel for Bud Black because his starter was wobbling a little, but this is what he has to contend with his bullpen. And how quickly do you want to go to this card? They're basically bottom of the barrel in the National League in every category. And Odor fouls off strike 1. Jake McGee, 29th appearance of the year.
Jake McGee, if you go back 3 or 4 years, was a young left-hander with a great arm. With Tampa Bay in 2014, he had an ERA under 2, 90 strikeouts in 71 innings, and only 16 walks. Not quite the same pitcher now. He's had some injuries over the last few years. Had a decent year for Colorado last year, 3.61 ERA, 57 innings. But he hasn't been able to bounce back to the same kind of pitcher he was 4 years ago. Injuries have played a role in that. He used to be a mid-90s guy back then.
Off the plate, 1-2 the count to Odor, who was struck out and popped up. You see the numbers for Rugi there at the bottom of your screen. It's not been a big year for him offensively. Missed a month with the strained hamstring. And takes off the plate, 2-2. Now they do shift on him on the infield here, and with 2 strikes, he'll be swinging away. But one thing we have seen him do recently is employ that bunt with a lot of success. Unfortunately, now with 2 strikes, that's not really in the playbook. He'll take low. It's a full count.
We showed a graphic for this earlier in the game, but one thing he's really improved over the last month has been not chasing as many pitches out of the strike zone. And this at bat against the lefties, a pretty good example. His chase percentage has almost gone in half, not quite in half, over the last 21 ball games. That's a huge improvement.
All right, chase that one there. Strikes out for the first out of this 6th inning.
Third baseman Isaiah Kiner-Falefa.
Brings up Kiner-Falefa now is 1 for 2.
He was able to lay off of a couple of pitches down, but that one top of the strike zone, wasn't able to lay off of that one.
Now, Isaiah had to start at third base today. He continues to do a fine job when he gets opportunities now, and they're harder to come by with Beltre back healthy again. And tomorrow, when we expect to have Elvis Andrus back with the team, we figure it's going to get harder still for Kiner-Falefa to find his way into the lineup. And my goodness, what a story he has been here the last couple of months.
Oh, Jurickson Profar now has 40 RBIs. Mazzara has knocked in a couple. He's got 44 RBIs. Jurickson on his way to leading the team in RBIs.
Pop up out into right field, and LeMahieu puts it away. They made 2 errors in this inning. The Rockies, one of them by LeMahieu on that sacrifice. The other error made by the right fielder Gonzalez, who was just challenging him for that pop-up. Carlos Gonzalez, a Gold Glover. Both of them Gold Glovers. Both of them made errors in the inning. It's only the 3rd time this year that the Rockies had made more than 1 error in an inning. And this is, we talked about the last couple of days, and earlier this afternoon, this might be the best defensive team in the National League.
Yeah, they had tied with Houston the fewest errors in baseball coming into the game.
A couple of errors really opened up some opportunity here. Rangers have grabbed that opportunity to the tune of 5 runs in this 6th inning. Gallo fouls one away. It's 1-1. Joey 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Today batting 7th. He's pitch and a little number foul. Joey now with 104 strikeouts for the year. We're in mid-June, and his most in Major League Baseball. I think the National League leader has 86 coming into play today. Paul Goldschmidt, Arizona. Boy, that one benefited corner call for McGee, and Gallo a little frustrated. Inning done, but the Rangers score 5 runs in the inning, capped on this 3-run bomb by Jurickson Profar, and he's given the Rangers the 1-run lead.
Rangers baseball is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Ford. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today. Ford is the best in Texas.
Profar celebrating the last inning, and now out there defensively here in the 7th. It's a 6-5 Rangers lead. Ryan McMahon, 9th place hitter, will lead things off for Colorado. There's Alex Claudio out to pitch again here in the 7th. McMahon 0 for 2.
Well, Alex now, if the Rangers don't relinquish the lead, is in a position to get a win in this game. Came in, did a nice job after a leadoff walk, got a double play and a quick out. The Rangers scored 5 for him. Floats that changeup in for a strike.
Thing is a thing of beauty. 1-2 the count on McMahon. And this one is past second base. McMahon aboard with a leadoff single.
He floated the changeup in for a strike right before that pitch. McMahon took it. That time he floated another one in. It stayed up, and McMahon stroked it into center field for a base hit. See the ball come out of his hand. Stayed up about belt high, and McMahon, after seeing the one before it, was able to time that one.
Lead man on here in the 7th, and here is DJ LeMahieu. He takes a strike. LeMahieu 1 for 3. Looking for a ground ball up the middle. Farno Door already turned a double play earlier, and of course Claudio very good at getting those ground balls. toss over there. Keep McMahon close. Mayhew has it into 5 double plays. He's a candidate here. But hits this one well out to left center field, hanging up for a while and carrying well out to the bullpen where it bounces over the fence for an automatic double, and that might end up being a little bit of a break for the Rangers. McMahon has to stop at third on the Mayhew's 2-bagger.
Yeah, you don't know what's going to happen the rest of the inning, but it definitely cost LeMahieu an RBI right there. McMahon looked like he was going to be able to score on this ball if it hit the top of the wall and came back down in play. It hits the warning track and bounces right over the sign and into the bullpen.
So that's it for Alex Claudio. And deeper we go into that Rangers pin. We look ahead to tomorrow in Kansas City. Our Ford probables. Bartolo Colon in a rematch with Ian Kennedy from last Saturday. You see their lines from that ball game, a game that went extra innings. Rangers ultimately won 4-3. Our pregame will start at 6:30 tomorrow night. First pitch is a shade after 7 o'clock. Will join us. What in the world are they wearing today?
Rain gear.
Yeah. Never know. Well, here's Jose Leclerc, and what a spot he's in. Second and third, nobody out. I think it's Blackman to swing and miss at strike 1.
Now this would be a good test for Jose. He's allowed 1 of 23 inherited runners to score. That's the best percentage in the American League. But this is a tough situation. Second and third and nobody out. So Mike Minor escaped this situation yesterday.
Good block back there by Chirinos. 1-1.
The last 7 games, Jose has struck out 13 of the 25 batters he's faced. There it is. 13 out of the last 25 batters. He struck out over half the batters he's faced.
The umpire's going to get together here for a moment.
I was reading and not watching, so I can't help you.
Well, it looked like there was something to do with that ball that Chirinos blocked. And I don't know. I mean, outside of a little concern for Chirinos, why they would necessarily be meeting. That one took kind of a wicked hop up there and got, I think, just under the face mask, got him in the neck. Now he then trapped it with his chest protector and helmet, and I don't know if that's what they're talking about.
I think there's not much he could do about that.
Alan Porter, plate umpire, talking to Bud Black about it. Good. I guess everything copacetic now, and we'll get back to action. So McMahon is at third, LeMahieu at second base. Off the plate, 2-1 to Blackman. 0 for 2 today with a walk. Yeah, though with some pretty good power. Corners are in, and Blackman smacks it past first, foul.
Now this second and third and nobody out jam. It's a tough situation no matter who you're facing, but when you've got Blackman, Arenado coming up, it's even tougher.
Yeah, this would be Houdini-esque for Leclerc if he can pull it off. Lord knows we've seen him pull off some pretty amazing things. Blackman lifts this one down the line. Looks like it's heading foul and gets foul. Nowhere to go down there for Joey Gallo. Defense kind of collapsed on him. Defense being the wall and the tarp. Look out.
There's not much give. There's no padding down there. You got the corner of the tarp, which is metal, and the wall, which is cement.
Rockies 2 for 5 today with runners in scoring position. Blackman bounces it first base. That one gets by Guzman. He's going to have to scramble back to first. He doesn't get there in time. McMahon scores from third to tie the game, and everybody is safe. That'll be an infield hit and an RBI.
The Rangers in their rally had a couple of base hits, bouncers that just eluded the first baseman in the right field. This was a ball that Blackman was fooled on, and Ronald Guzman couldn't quite get to it. And because he went for that ball, he then had a hard time getting back and couldn't get back in time to make the play on the sliding Charlie Blackman, who picks up an infield hit and an RBI.
So one runner scores. Blackman, the decent leadoff first, and here is Arenado. The infield is back. They will concede a run for a double play here if they could get it. Arenado has bounced into more double plays than anybody on this Rockies team. He's hit into 7 of them. Tie game, top of the 7th. Ground ball, and that one past third into left field. Gets home another run. Blackman stops at second. Rockies back in front, 7-6.
Yeah, quite a contrast to the last 2 ground balls. Blackman's little chopper past first. This one by Arenado, that's a hanging off speed pitch, and he drilled that ball. That had some exit velocity. That was hit so hard Isaiah couldn't even get a glove on it. That had to come off the bat at 110 miles an hour.
Oh, now Carlos Gonzalez.
Rockies now have 7 different batters with 1 RBI.
Oh, they have out-hit the Rangers as well, 10-6 today. Gonzalez has walked and scored a run. He's 0 for 2. And he takes ball 1. Clerk has never faced anybody in the Rockies lineup today. Only one player on the bench he's ever seen before. One and one on Gonzalez. Nobody out here in the 7th inning. 2 runs already across, and the Rockies bidding for more. So these teams back and forth we go. It's the rubber match in this series. Rockies won the opener Friday. Rangers came back to win yesterday 5-2. Strike 2 on Gonzalez. Turk really had studied Blackman at second base before deciding to deliver that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Father's Day today. A lot of kids out here with their dads, and want to wish a very special Father's Day to G.G. Gonzalez, longtime parking attendant out here where we come in every day. Today was his last day.
It was.
Yep.
Gonna miss him.
Many years out there in the heat and sunshine. Gigi said, I'm going home. I'm going to watch the game on TV and the AC, and I'm going to love it. So happy Father's Day, Gigi. That one down low, and it's a full count here on Carlos Gonzalez. So Leclerc has allowed both inherited runners to score. The runners out there are his responsibility now. And he's got a very big pitch coming here to Gonzalez. A dangerous Trevor Story waiting on deck. The payoff. And this one lined out to right field, drops in front of Mazzara. Into third base and holding there Blackman. The bases are now loaded.
Well, the Rockies have done a nice job handling Jose Leclerc, who's been one of the most effective bullpen pitchers over the last 3 weeks. Charlie Blackman scrapped away in his at-bat and found a little bit of an angle to get an infield hit. And Arenado ripped one into left, and Carlos Gonzalez a line drive into right. 3 straight singles.
So now Leclerc gets a visit from Doug Brocail. Well, the Rangers had taken the lead last inning 6-5. But on 5 singles, the Rockies have stormed back to retake the lead. But the problem is 7-6 is one thing. And you feel good about your chances coming back. But you just can't afford to let this thing get away here. I need to correct myself. 4 singles and a double. Double by LeMahieu. And you have Blackman third base, Arenado second. And Gonzalez now at first base.
Now Jose inherited a second and third and no out situation, and now he's created a bases loaded no out situation. And Rangers will play the infield in. Try to get a double play that way, home to first.
Story from Irving High School at the right side of the plate, and he takes a very close pitch for ball 1. Very good numbers with the bases loaded, a 409 average in his career. That's just his 3rd year in the big leagues, 25 years old. Stormed onto the scene in 2016 after an incredible spring training. 2-0. And got off to a ridiculous start in 2016 as a rookie. Tied a major league record with 21 home runs at the All-Star break, rather a National League record for rookies. And then got hurt on July 30th and ended his season. Last year took a step back a little bit. Big swing and a miss. It's 2-1. $25,513 are paid attendance here this afternoon. They're all kind of waiting pensively to see how this one works out here in the 7th. Story will reward them with a foul ball souvenir.
Love to get a strikeout right here. The Story's hot. Talked about him in his last 100+ at bats, hitting over 320. Can be a little bit susceptible to the strikeout, especially against a strikeout pitcher. Optimal situation to go for a strikeout. Not pitching to contact right here.
That was a big part of the story last year for him. 191 strikeouts for Story. Here's a 2-2 pitch and a swing and a miss. Strike 3. So Leclerc does get him for the first out of the inning. And now, if he could just get that ground ball.
He was trying to throw it down and away. It ended up in the middle of the strike zone, but the velocity proved to be very effective. Story not quite able to make contact with it.
So a huge out. Now Gerardo Parra, who is singled in a run, walked, is scored. 1 for 2. Leclerc's first pitch, and is swing and a miss.
I think he was fooled on that one a little bit. Throws that cut changeup. On that particular pitch, it looked like Parra was hitting with the lights off. And someone said, "Here it is, swing."
Won the count. And time called again. Parra has this routine every time he gets in the box, and it is lengthy. He's part asking for time. He goes into this this little T-pose right here. He has to hold that for a moment. That time a little quicker, maybe because they have had to reset twice in a row. Away, 1-1.
21 pitches right now for Jose.
There's that T-pose again. Parra ready. He is a very good hitter against righties. And again, boy, these two, the rhythm between Parra and Leclerc, disjointed at best. They continue to outweight one another. Fly ball, center field. The Shields having to get back quickly, and he can't get back there. That one is over his head. So Blackman is in. Arenado scores, and Gonzalez will play to run as well. A bases clearing double by Parra, and the Rockies now lead by 4.
Parra hit that ball hard, directly over Delano's head. And there's nothing Delano could do, even with his speed, to get back and try to catch that one.
Well, an uncharacteristic outing for Jose Leclerc did not go well. Jesse Chavez coming in now for the Rangers. As we continue on here in the 7th inning, the 2018 Camping World Major League Baseball All-Star Ballot is now open and exclusively online. Make sure your favorite Rangers are represented on this year's squad by voting at texasrangers.com/vote. Catch all the excitement of the 89th MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard on July 17th live on Fox.
And there's a definite candidate. Keone Kela, 15 for 15 in save opportunities. Nomar Mazara's having a nice season. And Shin-Soo Choo, with the streak he's putting together, has certainly played himself into the conversation. Nomar with a couple of RBIs today, now has 14 home runs, 44 RBIs. Well, 3 solid candidates right there for the Rangers. Sometimes it depends the other players on other teams. Every team has to have one player. Some teams don't have a lot of candidates. Someone has to be picked, and if it happens that guy happens to be the same position as one of your guys, then maybe there's not room for another player at that position. So a lot of things go into determining who the all-star candidate that will be selected from each team. Some teams are going to have more than one for sure. Those would probably appear to be the Rangers' best candidates.
Well, Jesse Chavez, the new pitcher here in this 7th inning, and he puts one on the corner to Desmond. 1-2 the count.
Boy, as quickly as the Rangers scored 5 in the 6th, Colorado's come back with 5 in the 7th.
Ooh, strike 3 called, and Desmond down looking. He did not like it. He and Alan Porter were having a little trouble with one another.
Desmond saying the catcher couldn't even catch that one. I don't think that had anything to do with where the ball was. It was just one that Robinson didn't catch. That ball, I think Desmond gave up on that pitch because that's one that actually did come back and catch the strike zone. It's a ball that Robinson didn't catch cleanly. He didn't miss it because it was so far outside.
Now Tom Murphy, and he takes a strike. Murphy 0 for 3 today with an RBI fielder's choice back in the 4th inning. Well, a big inning for the Rockies. Brought them back. Five runs on 6 hits. They've had innings in which they've come up with 5 or more hits in an inning. Since the start of the 2016 season, the Rockies have done that 58 times, and that is the most in Major League Baseball. So they have, for the last couple of years now, been one of those big inning offenses. We've seen it in this series. Well, it was Friday night when they scored 6 runs on 7 hits in the 2nd inning. And Friday night here, another big inning with 5 more in the 7th. 1-2 the count on Murphy, 9th hitter of the inning. Charlie Blackmon, one of the big hits, that infield single to the right side, and there's a swing and a miss. Murphy strikes out. The inning is done, but the Rockies back in front. Time for God Bless America here at Globe Life Park. Let's turn it over to Chuck Morgan.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Will you please rise and direct your attention to the area behind home plate? And once again, welcome Luke Chaco. In honor of all the veterans who have served our country and the servicemen and women who are currently stationed at home and around the world, Luke will now perform God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
7th inning. Beautiful scene out here at Globe Life Park. Final game of this series and short homestand for the Rangers. As Robinson Chirinos leads things off here and takes strike 1. Well, Robbie batting 8th today. Listen, another strike from Jake McGee, who came in. Boy, McGee really doused the Flames in the 6th inning. Came in after the Profar home run. First 5 Rangers had reached and scored. McGee came on, strikeout, pop-up, strikeout. And just like that, Momentum was gone, and that one comes in and it hit Trevino's. 8th time he's been hit by a pitch this year. Wow. That one really rode in on it. Nowhere to go.
That pitch bounced out in front of home plate.
He's talking about back foot sliders and whatnot. That was a front foot.
Front foot. Also hit him pretty solidly too, right in the front of the foot. Didn't glance off it or hit him in the toe. It looked like hit him in the side of the foot, right near the ankle.
I think a fastball too, 92 miles per hour. So that one did not feel good. McGee puts the lead man on in the 7th inning. So after the Rangers got 5 runs in the 6th inning, you're looking for the shutdown inning, right, as we like to call it. And we did not get it. Rockies scored 5 in the first half of the 7th inning. So now McGee, of course, he's looking for a shutdown inning. So what's he do? He hits the first batter he faces. Could be one of those days today. Here's Guzman. He walked to start that 5-run rally in the 6th. Showed you earlier how the Rockies bullpen has been a terrible liability this year for Bud Black and his ball club. And Shaw loosening up out there as we speak, and Shaw has been one of the real mysteries for them. This ball lifted high in the air down the right field line, and foul. Lose sight of it when it gets down that line. But it would foul. Guzman was way out in front of that one. They do give him some room down that line. Gonzalez shaded over toward center field. Holds off again, 2-2. Ronald, we've talked about this before. He has been a late inning guy for the Rangers, finding ways toward the end of games to come up with big hits. He's 1 for 3 yesterday. He's walked and scored a run today. Takes off the plate, and it's a full count.
He's not even coming close with those last 2 pitches. Trying to go for the strikeout. In danger of putting the first 2 men on with a 4-run lead.
He's trying to be careful with Guzman, who put up some pretty decent numbers. And there's ball 4, so a hit, batter, and a walk to start the bottom of the 7th. Oh boy.
I don't think you could drive a manager any crazier in this kind of a game than to hit a batter and walk a batter to start the 7th inning. You go through the low of watching the Rangers score 5 runs and taking the lead to the high of scoring 5 and countering that to maintain your 4-run lead. Next thing you know, there's 2 men on and nobody out. Top of the order up there.
Well, you can see a little frustration there on the face of Bud Black. Second year as a manager in Colorado. Chu takes low. You know, Chu's going to have a discerning eye and make McGee work. Trevino's at second, Guzman at first. I also know Chu, if McGee kind of breaks down and throws one over the plate, Chu can hit it out. He has 12 home runs, 1-1 the count. Reached now in 31 straight games. the second longest streak in the big leagues this year. Odubel Herrera reached in 40 consecutive games earlier in the year for the Phillies. It's the longest active streak, longest in Chu's career. There's a strike, 1 and 2, and Chu didn't like it.
Chu had an at bat earlier in the game. What a 2-1 pitch was called a strike that he thought was a ball. Turned the at bat into the favor of the pitcher. Here's 1 and 2 instead of 2-1 because of that last call. Another good rip by Chu at a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, Rangers are 3 for 3 with runners in scoring position today. Trevino's out there at second at the moment. Stays 1 and 2.
Same pitch, same swing, same result. Foul ball in the same territory.
McGee came on last inning, faced 3 hitters. This inning he hit Chirinos, walked Guzman. 1-2 pitch and a bouncer, foul again. So Chu putting him to the test here. He'll see a 7th pitch in this at bat. We saw him put an 11 pitch at bat together yesterday. That was in the first inning when he walked against Kyle Freeland. And the runners. This one bounces away, and everybody moves up a base. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A wild pitch.
Well, still a long way to go in this game. It's only the 7th inning, so you don't have to get them all back this inning. You got a much better chance of getting 2 now than you did before that pitch. Takes away the double play. The infield's back. Hit the ball on the ground to the right side, score a run, move the guy to third. Who knows, maybe we'll go for our 3rd straight 5-run half inning.
Chu is going to see now a 9th pitch.
He's hanging in there.
Two and 2. Chu came in 3rd in the league with 46 walks. On base percentage 7th in the league. 2-2. A high pop-up foul out of play.
McGee's throwing hard this inning. Wasn't throwing quite this hard last inning, but most of these fastballs are 95. That last one was 96. She just taking a nice, relaxed, smooth swing, fouling them off, hoping to get one in an area of the strike zone that he can drive it. Sun can be a factor in left field now. It's later on in the afternoon as the sun sets behind the right field stands.
10th pitch of the at bat. And there'll be at least one more. Full count now on Chu.
Well, Chu works a walk right here. This would be an amazing start for the 7th inning. Hit by pitch, walk.
These fans getting into it.
Yeah. If Chu walks here, he will have definitely earned this walk.
McGee laboring. Bouncer up the middle. LeMahieu with a backhand. Goes over to first. He gets Chu, but a run is in. Now a 10-7 game, and Guzman is over at 3rd base.
Yeah, in that particular case, 2nd and 3rd and nobody out. If you're going to make an out, that's the out you want to make. A ground ball to the right side. Because with the infield back, you'll score a run and you'll move a man to 3rd base with one out. Chu didn't get a hit, but he sure battled in that at bat. And that's one of those outs that you would call a productive out.
Yes, indeed. He also knocks McGee out of the ball game, and Brian Shaw is coming on for the Rockies. I'd say they're going in a pretty good direction right now.
I was listening to Alex Bregman be interviewed after the game yesterday, and you know, he's a confident guy.
Yeah.
Some people might call him cocky, but you know, he's a good ball player, and that's the way he plays. Plays with an edge. Anyway, in the interview, he said, you're just beginning to see what's going to happen from here on out. So they're feeling pretty good about the way they're playing right now.
Well, here the Rangers have cut into the lead a little bit, 10-7 now, and Brian Shaw makes his 38th appearance.
Yeah, it hasn't gone all that well. He had a pretty good outing in yesterday's game, I guess it was. Had a shutout inning.
3-0.
He struggled, and here he comes in with a 3-0 count right off the bat.
Well, opponents have scored on him in 13 of his 37 appearances. And there's ball 4. So he misses on all 4 to DeShields. And it gets a potential tying run to the plate here in the 7th.
Tough job being a big league manager. All you can do is make the right move and then hope that the players can execute. Right now, the Rocky bullpen having a hard time executing. Get a 4-run lead, 2 walks and a hit batter in this inning.
Nomar Mazara, left-handed batter, and he takes a strike. Good day so far for Nomar. Missed a couple of games with a sore left wrist. Runner goes from first. Bouncing ball right side. Iannetta comes in and will throw out Mazara, but he picks up an RBI. It's now a 10-8 game. Rangers were gifted a couple of base runners to start the inning, and they get both of them home. DeShields now in scoring position with 2 outs.
Yeah, again, you don't have to get them all back in the 7th inning. There's still 2 more innings to go. And you, in this particular inning, with men on 2nd and 3rd and nobody out, Chu's down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes, and he battles against a left-hand pitcher to hit a ground ball to the right side and move both runners. And then Mazarek didn't get a base hit, but with the infield back, he put the ball in play. Don't want to strike out in those situations. Well, the Rangers get 2 runs closer. Now it's 10-8.
And Profar takes one low. Jurickson hit the big 3-run homer last inning to give the Rangers the lead. The first lead in this game, the only one they have had. At the time it was 6-5. The lead would not last very long though, as Rockies came back in the top of this inning with 5 of their own. Fly ball out to left field. Parra going back. That one is off the fence. Smothered by Parra. Profar into second with the RBI double, and it's a 1-run game. I don't know what's left to say about Jurickson Profar, but he's pretty locked in.
He's becoming a force. He's driving the ball. He's hit several home runs 420 feet, pulling them left-handed. This one he shoots 375 feet over Parra's head. Parra's a good outfielder, but he can't get back to get that one. Oh, Jurickson showing how productive he can be, how productive he has been. Another RBI. That's 4 for the night, 41 on the season.
You could fry an egg on the back of Bud Black's neck right now as he has to go to the bullpen one more time here in the 7th inning. Score Jurickson Profar has been unbelievable as he gets them to within a run.
Well, it's 10-9, and one of the biggest reasons why is Jurickson Profar, who launches a high fly ball, long home run. That's a 3-run homer in the 6th inning. Then in the 7th inning, batting left-handed, he shoots one about 375 feet, 380 feet off the left field wall over Gerardo Parra's head for his 4th RBI in the game, a home run and a double. 41st RBI for Jurickson Profar, and just a great example where if you've got a kid that you believe is a great young prospect, you can't form an opinion one way or the other until you see him play every day and get 150 or 200 at bats. And now that Jurickson's in that position, he's gotten his couple hundred at bats. He's showing what he's capable of doing. Something I think the Rangers in the back of their minds have known all along, and he's just finally had the opportunity to let it all come out and show everybody.
So Chris Russin checks in now for Colorado. It's been a struggle for him as well. Odor at the plate. A little tight. We're 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts today.
You know, it looks like you'd have to think Adam Ottavino is not eligible, but is unable to pitch in this game because of the workload he had in the first game when he threw 30 pitches. Didn't pitch in yesterday's game, which was a close game, and you would think that he might be in this game. But we'll find out. There's still a long way to go. It's not like it's the 9th inning. There's still 2 innings to go. Got the closer left, Wade Davis. Jeff Hoffman, we haven't seen him in the series. Musgrave has pitched the first 2 games. Ottavino threw a lot of pitches on Friday night. And Brooks Pounders, the other available right-hand pitcher in the Rockies bullpen.
Russin, the lefty, a former Chicago Cub. First 3 years in the big leagues with the Cubs. Last 3 with Colorado. I mentioned he's been scuffling a little bit lately. He's been scored upon in 11 of his last 14 appearances as well.
Wow. Well, a guy that could really use a big hit right here is Rudy. He's due for one. He's battling up there. Hasn't been happening for him.
Not the hit he was looking for, but a hit batter, and it puts him on. So now the go-ahead run on base here.
You look at this inning. The Rockies come into this inning with a 4-run lead. Jake McGee starts the inning off with a hit by pitch. He's knocked out of the game. Brian Shaw comes in, and the first batter he faces is Delino DeShields, and he walks him. The third pitcher of the inning comes in, Chris Russin, and the first batter he faces, he hits Rougned Odor. So 3 pitchers this inning. The 3 first batters they faced, 2 have been hit by a pitch and 1 has walked. And that's with a 4-run lead. And that 4-run lead is evaporated.
Gift call there to Kiner Falefa.
Now you lose the lefty versus lefty with a hit by pitch, and now Kiner Falefa, nice guy to have up there in this situation. He's gotten some big hits for the Rangers. Had a base hit back in the 5th inning.
Profar and Odor, the base runners, second and first.
Boy, to lay off that pitch.
1-1.
Been a pretty amazing 3 half innings. Bottom of the 6th, top of the 7th, bottom of the 7th. Game started out with 3 quick innings, 1-0. Pitchers have had a pretty tough time since then, though.
The fly ball out to right field. Gonzalez rather to his right, and he gets there, and the inning is done. The Rangers will settle for the 3 runs. They leave a couple. We go to the 8th inning. It's a 1-run game. Post-game fireworks on Fridays. Fans can get $16 upper reserve tickets for Friday home games, courtesy of Fox Sports Southwest and T-Mobile. Go to TexasRangers.com and use the coupon code FSSW Fireworks to get your tickets. right, 8th inning. McMahon, who started the 7th inning with a base hit, looks to bunt here. Instead takes ball 1. Ninth place hitter, first started first base in this series, and he lifts this one out to center. DeShields right there, though, 1 away. Well, Jesse Chavez came in last inning and struck out Ian Desmond and Tom Murphy to mercifully put an end to that 5-run rally. And now gets a quick out here in the 8th.
Yeah, Jesse is kind of quietly putting together a pretty nice first half of the season. 44 innings, 43 hits, only 10 walks, and 38 strikeouts. Starting to be that guy you see come into the game, you go, good, here comes 2 to 3 nice, quick, efficient innings. Pretty consistent.
Off the plate, 1-1 to DJ LeMahieu. LeMahieu has scored a couple today. Home run and a double for him. It's 1-2. LeMahieu, another former Cub on this Rockies roster, and they have a handful of them.
Pretty good trade to acquire DJ LeMahieu, get a batting champion on the trade.
Chavez strikes him out quickly here in the 8th, 2 away, and now how about a word from our friends at Kia?
At Kia, get America's best value backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty.
All right, 2 up, 2 down in the 8th inning. And here's Charlie Blackmon, who...
Charlie's featured in a fairly dirty uniform.
Yeah, what? How did he get the shoulder dirty like that? That's awesome. I don't remember him somersaulting into a base, but he might have. He is a hard-working, scrappy guy, though. Big dude in center field. He does such a nice job for him. He takes another strike and a whole 0-2. Chavez, we were talking about a shutdown inning last inning.
He's come in, thrown 16 pitches, and 12 of them have been strikes. Love the uniform, too, with the striped socks.
Mr. Blackmon just off the plate, 1-2 the count.
Guzman, Odor, Chavez, all featuring their pants up, profile with those striped socks. That looks great.
Another near miss, 2-2.
Now the Yankees don't let players have facial hair.
Right.
If I bought a team, players would have to wear their uniforms that way. Might cause a mutiny, but
yeah, you might run into some trouble.
I'd be shooting for it. I wouldn't require it. I'd say, guys, this would mean a lot to me. I hope you'll do it. Obviously, I can't make you do it, but I hope you do it. I'd just see how many complied.
Maybe if you just stepped up with a couple of shekels, say, here you go, boys.
Like an extra year on their contract?
Yeah.
That might work.
Line drive out to right field, and Mazzara right there. Pants down. But he makes the play, and it's a 1-2-3. Top of the 8th, bottom of the 8th coming. Joey Gallo will lead it off for the Rangers. Robinson Chirinos and the big Ronald Guzman.
We head to the bottom of the 8th, and we mentioned a little bit earlier in the show, but it does seem imminent that Elvis Andrus will return to the lineup tomorrow as the team travels to Kansas City. He'll come off the deal after that elbow injury that he suffered early in the season, his first trip in his career to the DL. Also a quick update on Martin Perez as he will throw another live batting practice session and then after that be evaluated, but it looks like he'll begin a rehab assignment after that, guys.
All right, thanks, Emily. And here in a 1-run game, Joey Gallo will lead things off in this 8th against Adam Ottavino, another new pitcher for the Rockies.
There's the answer. Ottavino is available for the game. I mistakenly speculated he might not be available because of how many pitches he threw on Friday night, but he obviously is the 8th inning guy and wasn't going to come into the game until the 8th inning. They saved their 2 best relievers, Ottavino for the 8th, Wade Davis for the 9th. Obviously, Wade Davis is dependent on what happens in this inning.
Tony Wolters has taken over behind the plate as well, so a defensive change for the Rockies. An entirely new battery. Number 0, Adam Ottavino. Up and away, it's 2-2. Gallo has struck out 3 times this afternoon. 0 for 3. Of course, he's always a threat to go long. 18 home runs this year, 5th in the league. Ottavino had just been activated off the disabled list on Thursday with a left oblique strain, and then pitched in the game Friday here at Globe Life Park. He hit a batter, walked a batter, struck out a couple. Ultimately, it was a scoreless inning, but not the cleanest. And he strikes out Gallo looking. Boy, Joey thought that was ball 4.
Well, the one before it was a ball. That one was a strike. Almost the exact same pitch. 92 mile an hour tailing fastballs outside top of the strike zone. Very close. Each pitch could have gone either way. One went Joey's way and the second one didn't. Let's look at the last 2 pitches. There's the one that's called a ball right at the top of the right hand corner of the strike zone. And there's the one that's called a strike. And I guess if you want to split hairs, the second one was a little bit closer to being a strike. So Alan Porter had 2 very close pitches to contend with. He called the better of the 2 pitches a strike and the other one a ball. Both of them could have gone either way.
Beltre pinch hits here for Chirinos and hits it on the ground. Third base diving stop. Arenado. He's up. His throw in time. Boy, that guy's good.
Well, until that play, we hadn't had a chance to see Arenado make a great play. We've seen LeMahieu and Story show their athletic ability, but until this one, we hadn't seen Arenado, but now we have. Diving play, strong, accurate arm across the diamond. Pretty nice. Rockies and their fans get to watch that on a daily basis.
5 Gold Gloves in his first 5 seasons in the big leagues. First time that's ever been accomplished by a major league infielder. Now Guzman, who is 0 for 1, struck out in the 3rd inning, but has walked twice since, and he has scored 2 runs. 1-run game. And Ottavino off the plate. That'll even things up.
Ottavino has 92, 93 mile an hour fastball with exceptional movement. And it makes him obviously very effective.
2-1. That one didn't miss by a lot. Things got a little wild there in the 6th and 7th innings. Top of the 8th very quiet for the Rockies. And now this bottom of the 8th for the Rangers. 2 away, nobody on, and Guzman sitting on a 2-2 count. Been a good series. Rockies won the opener 9-5 yesterday. The Rangers bounced back for the 5-2 win. A lot of offense today. Inside, and it's a full count on Guzman. Total runs, 19 hits. A couple of errors in this one. Now the rookie Ronald Guzman stays alive with that foul tip. Guzman called up early in the year, April 13th. Stays 3-2. That was way ahead of schedule. We anticipating that coming out of spring training. So many injuries early in the season to the Rangers. Opened up doors for guys like Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Guys like Ronald Guzman to get called up. Profar ended up getting a lot of playing time as well. 3-2. And Guzman again sends one foul. Cali getting ready for the 9th inning. Guzman among American League rookies. He's second with 29 RBIs. Fourth with 7 homers. Fourth in total bases with 69. Hits this ball on the ground into right field. Base hit. And it's another late inning hit for Ronald Guzman. And he is the potential tying run.
A very nice job of battling at the plate. He fouled off a couple of tough pitches. Ottavino's a very tough pitcher. Throws him a slider down. He stays with it, just concentrating on making some contact. And he was able to do that and find a hole. He's had an at-bat in each of the last 3 innings. He's walked twice, once in the 6th, once in the 7th, scored both times. Now he's got a single here in the 8th.
Ryan Rua takes over at first base for him as a pinch runner. 9-pitch at bat by Guzman. He works it for a base hit. And now you get Chu to the plate. Already has 1 hit today. He's also driven in a run and scored a run. Chu's been pretty patient today. He struck out a couple of times, but he's taken a number of first pitch strikes, as he just did right there.
I hope he gets a chance to hit that same pitch.
Ground ball, second base. Boy, Mayhew waited patiently for it. Throws out Chu. The inning is over. Rangers leave a man. So we go to the 9th. It's a 10-9 ball game.
For Jose Trevino, who is back behind the plate for the Rangers as we speak. He, of course, had his first child. Josiah Cruz was born last Sunday, so a week old today. Then makes his major league debut a couple of days ago. Then his first major league start yesterday. Got his first major league hit, which was, by the way, a game-tying RBI. And so it's been quite the whirlwind for him. He said that he really is trying to soak it all in, trying not to put too much pressure on himself, and just enjoy the moment, whether those be at home with a baby or here at the ballpark playing baseball, guys.
Told me yesterday he's getting good sleep, Tom.
Good.
Can you imagine that? I can't. This one off the plate to Arenado. Chavez out for a 3rd inning here. And he has a 3, 4, and 5 hitters for Colorado.
That's becoming a pretty typical outing for Jesse. He came in the 7th inning with a man on second, 1 out, got 2 strikeouts. Quick 1, 2, 3 inning in the 8th with a strikeout. Trying to do the same here in the 9th. Ryan Rua at first base.
Out of the way. Stays 1 and 2. Another good game for Nolan Arenado. Big RBI single in that 5-run 7th inning, and he takes ball 2. Rockies with 30 hits in this series. High fly ball out to center field, and Shields able to run underneath it. So 1 away here in the 9th inning.
He got it in just enough to where he didn't get it off the barrel of the bat.
Let's go back to yesterday in the 7th inning. Jose Trevino, 2 outs in a 1-run game, and snuck it through his first big league hit.
Well, he's been making some contact in his other major league at bats, and that time he found a hole, it came at probably the most opportune time of any of his at-bats. Great feeling to get that tying hit. Rangers end up winning the game.
One away, and the pitch to Gonzalez off the plate. 2 balls, no strikes. He's scored a couple today. Gonzalez with a walk and a base hit. Chavez, since coming in, has retired 6 consecutive hitters, 3 of them on strikes. You were talking earlier about the great look the guys have with the socks. He's been sporting these shades lately, and it gives him definitely a unique look out there.
Got a little bit of a Lou Diamond Phillips look to him.
There's a fly ball to center field. DeShields racing in, and he can't get it. So Gonzalez goes to second. That'll be a double.
Yeah, that one just died out there with Delano's speed. Looked like he might be able to catch up with it, but just didn't carry far enough. Got jammed. Just hit a little blooper out there. Couldn't quite get there. First base runner against Chavez.
So he becomes an important base runner now. 1-run game. Rockies are 6 for 12. Runners in scoring position. And Story comes up empty on strike 1. Story 1 for 4 today. Chavez finds a corner in the count 0-2. So we're seeing the heart of the lineup for the Rockies in this 9th inning, and the same will be true for the Rangers in their half of the 9th inning. Chavez wants to make sure that when they get there, it is still a 1-run game. Fly ball, this one out toward right field, hanging up there a while. DeShields is back, and that one is gone. Into the Rangers bullpen, and then caroms up into the seats. A 2-run shot for Story. Came on an 0-2 pitch.
Story shows some power on this ball. This ball got up in the air and just kept on going to right center field. Big day for Trevor in front of his hometown fans and all his family. Tell he's trying to go back through the middle, not trying to pull the ball. And shows the strength. That high fly ball came off the bat at 103 miles per hour, went 386 feet.
Now Parra, and he takes a high fastball.
Everybody in the Rocky lineup except Ryan McMahon that started the game has had at least 1 RBI.
This ball lined over third and down into the left field corner by Parra. He'll pedal into second base. His 3rd hit of the game and his 2nd double.
Designated hitter Ian Desmond.
Possible that Chavi's running a little low on fuel at this point.
Yeah, he had retired 6 straight with a couple of strikeouts, actually 3 strikeouts. Got the first batter in the 9th. But as has been the case in this game, Rockies have strung some things together. They did it in the 4th, they did it in the 7th. The 4th, they had a walk and 3 singles bunched together. And then in the 7th, they had 4 singles and a double bunched together.
1-1 on Desmond. We almost forget about the starters in this one today. John Gray for Colorado, Giovanni Gallardo for the Rangers. All in 2 strikes.
Yeah, John Gray looked like he was on his way to an excellent game until the Rangers hit in the 6th inning and he walked the leadoff hitter. Then they had an error and a couple of singles and a home run by Profar. And all of a sudden he's out of the game with 9 strikeouts in 5 innings. And the Rangers had the lead.
Foul tip. Gray will not be involved in the decision today. Neither will Giovanni Gallardo. It's only the 2nd time this year that Gray won't be the winner or the loser in a game he started, as Desmond strikes out 2 away. A little bit unusual in that Gray in his first 14 starts, he won 6, lost 7. Guy who typically stays in long enough to see the game to, I guess, to that point, right, where the decision one way or the other, or the game one way or the other, is more or less been decided. But not today. This was a wild finish again. Is now a fly ball out to left field. Takes care of Walters, and the inning is done. But 2 runs for the Rockies, extends their lead to 3. Delano to Shields to try and start the 9th inning rally for the Rangers when we come back.
They will need yet another one as they trail here as we head to the bottom of the 9th. Dana Larson along with Mike Bassick and Mark McLemore will have the post-game edition of Rangers Live coming up right after the game. Mike, I'll start with you. What's on your rundown?
Well, we'll have to look at the Colorado Rockies offense against really the lights-out Rangers bullpen and how they got to him, Mac.
Well, I want to talk about Nomar Mazara being back in the lineup and the impact that he's had today and what he means to the middle of this lineup.
We've got those storylines and much more on this Father's Day edition of Rangers Live coming up right after the game, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Dana. Happy Father's Day, Mike, Mac, and all the dads out there watching this afternoon. Hope you've enjoyed your holiday Sunday. And may the Rangers make it a little better with a comeback here as Delano DeShields takes one high from Wade Davis. It's DeShields, Mazara, and Profar due in this 9th inning. Two and 0.
Well, Davis, 20 saves in 23 opportunities. Opponents are only hitting 181 against him. Good fastball, cutter to curveball. And it'd be kind of typical if he walked the leadoff hitter right here. We've seen a lot of that from the Rocky relievers. Almost every one of them has given up something on the first batter they faced. McGee didn't do it in his first inning. He did it when he started his 2nd inning.
3-1. Yeah, McGee, as you point out, did it in the 2nd inning. And Russin did it when he came in, first batter he faced.
Shaw did it. Trevino didn't, though.
The 3-1. And it's a full count. Well, Davis was the big offseason story for the Rockies, 2nd in the league in saves now. And he's looking for his 100th career save. He's also 1 strikeout short of an even 800 in his career. So right on the cusp of a couple of big round numbers. That's high, ball 4, and so he has walked DeShields to start the 9th inning.
Delano has walked twice in this game. He scored 3 times. Had a chance to score 4 runs in this game.
It's a great scene right there. Bud Black walking down the dugout. It's one of those where you wouldn't be surprised to see him just take off the jersey and keep walking. That's it. I have had it.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, you've got one of the better closers in the National League in this game, and Wade Davis, and Even Wade Davis comes in and walks the leadoff hitter, and they got the middle of the lineup. Mazara's knocked in 3, Profar's knocked in 4 in this game. They're the next hitters coming up in a 3-run game. So this game is far from over based on the performance of Mazara and Profar in this game.
Davis taking a good look at Delino, and we'll toss over there. We've talked about the Rockies bullpen in the broad sense. We've brought up some of the numbers on the individuals as they have come in. And Davis, you know, he's their closer, he's their lockdown guy, but he has been far from perfect. He's blown 3 save opportunities this year. A little bit tight. He goes 2-0 to Mazara. Pretty good sized feet right there on Davis. Look at those things. Runner goes. Throw down to second, not in time, and DeShields has a stolen base, his second of the ball game, number 15 for the year.
You better be safe on that steal attempt. And he was. The benefit is it takes away a double play, but there's a lot of risk involved in a 3-run game in the 9th inning with the middle of the order up. You get thrown out on that one. It's when you don't want to go back to the dugout.
Well, now a man out there in scoring position for Mazara. Rangers 4 for 7 with runners in scoring position today. Nomar, great RBI guy, no get timeout. Wind picking up just a little bit. One, and that's ball 3.
Well, Davis has thrown 10 pitches. 7 of them have been balls.
Mazara's driven in a run in each of his last 3 at-bats. Single in the 4th. Single in the 6th. RBI ground out in the 7th inning. They play him to pull on the infield. And it's a full count. Got a pretty good cut there. There's the guy who has provided some of the big heroics today. Huge home run in the 6th inning, a 3-run blast. RBI double in the 7th inning. Profar has been really locked in lately. And he's due next.
So Davis came in the 9th inning on Friday night to face Joey Gallo and walked him. Then he got Guzman to hit into a double play, got an out to end the ball game. So it ended up being a pretty quick inning, but he did walk the leadoff hitter in that inning. It wasn't a save situation. The Rockies had a 4-run lead in that game. But the steal of second base by Delino eliminates any chance for a double play.
7th pitch of this at bat, and he loses Mazara. Back-to-back walks to start the 9th.
Well, I don't know who's going to win this game, but win or lose, Bub Black's going to walk back into the dugout shell-shocked after this game. Even if they win this game, I think he's not going to have a smile on his face. If he does, it'll be a sigh of relief. The Rangers have been putting the pressure on the Rockies almost every inning since the 3rd inning. And in a 3-run game, that brings up Jurickson and Profar, who already has a 3-run homer in this game.
Well, he's the tying run. See Alan Porter taking note of the mound visits. burn another right there. Tony Wolters checked in with Davis. Here's Profar. A home run, a double, his last 2 times up.
He's got a good chance to dump a base hit in, especially the left field. Parra's playing almost on the warning track out in left field. Not going to let a double go over his head. Profar's the tying run. They'll give up maybe a single that they might catch normally. They're playing a little bit deeper so that if Profar does have the ball land in the outfield, they can keep him at first base instead of in scoring position as the tying run.
Takes a strike, 1-1. He's 1 for 4 against Davis in his career. Couple of strikeouts. Five runs in the 6th, 3 runs in the 7th. A great opportunity here in the 9th. And that one is in, 2-1. Fastball there at 95.
You're in a good hitter's count right here. You've seen his pitches. The strike that he threw was an off-speed pitch. That's his best fastball at 95 miles an hour.
Runners with their leads. And a foul ball. It's 2-2. Profar, we've talked about just the general production for him. 19 doubles, the 4 triples, and now 8 home runs. A lot of extra base power. But he has driven in clutch runs. 9 game-winning RBIs this year. And he lifts this one in the air to left. Parra heading toward the foul line. Into a slide, makes the catch. 1 away.
Nice play. That ball was dying as it went to the foul line. Parra made a nice play. It looked like it was going to be a fair ball, too. With the sunglasses, in the sun, with the slide, and definitely a fair ball. And Wade Davis gets a big out. A hot jerks and Profar. Davis has thrown 18 pitches to 3 hitters here in the 9th inning. Well, you make a mistake to Rugi in a 3-run game, and he can definitely hit one. He's due to hit a home run. Rugi with only 1 home run on the season.
So you're working for that. I like it. Here's the pitch. Boy, the month of June has been rugged. 2 saves and 4 blown saves for this Rockies team. They started the month leading the division by a game and a half. They came in today 5 games out. So it turned on them in a hurry. And now Odor wants to step away.
We're talking about Rugi being a little bit more patient, not chasing pitches quite as much. First pitch is a good example. Game on the line, tying run, gets a borderline off-speed pitch, and he took it. Whoa! Almost got hit with that one. Well, you're in a hitter's count right now. Look for a fastball in your zone and let it fly.
Rugi was hit by a pitch in the 7th inning. Struck out a couple of times, popped up. Takes a strike, 2-1. Has a couple of at-bats against Davis and a base hit. Rangers have scored 9 runs on 8 hits. Taking advantage of a lot of walks and hit batters today, errors. Odor lines this one out into right field. That's a base hit. The Shield stopped at 3rd. And so the bases are loaded with 1 out here in the 9th inning.
That's a nice patient at bat for Rugi.
He took a borderline pitch when sometimes in the past he might have expanded the zone in this kind of a game as the tying run. He took the 2-0 pitch, didn't like it, in a position to get a fastball, and he ripped it to right field. Gets underneath that just a little bit. And he got a chance to hit it out of the ballpark. As it is, it extends the rally. Rangers with the bases loaded now, 1 out.
All right, there's the Shields at third base. Runners everywhere. Kiner Falefa now at the plate. He takes very high for a ball. Davis is continuing to struggle with his command.
Oh, he is. 23rd pitches, 10 strikes and 13 balls.
One. Right, he's a good one. There's no question. I saw a note yesterday, since he became a full-time reliever, has the lowest earned run average among major league relievers. Right near a run and a half. But he's in trouble here. The 1-1. Very high. Ball 2.
Yeah, regardless of what happens here, even if he gets the save, he's not going to feel very good after this outing. Going to need, unless he gets a double play, he's going to need over 30 pitches probably. But Black's going to need some Rolaids.
In the dirt. Wow. 3 balls and a strike. Joey Gallo waiting on deck. It just gets more and more interesting by the moment. Kiner Falefa should get something good to hit right here at 3-1. Down by 3 in the 9th. Bases loaded. And there's ball 4. Kiner Falefa drives it a run with a bases loaded walk. 3rd of the inning issued by Davis.
Well, Kiner Falefa goes up there and sees a bunch of pitches. Most of them aren't close. There's a hanging cut fastball. There's a ball that catches the inside corner. High fastball, not even close. Fastball down, not even close. Man, looked like a cut fastball. Slider down, not really close. 5 pitches, a walk, 3 walks in the inning, and a rope to right field by Ruby. The Rangers have the tying run at second base now. And Joey Gallo's the hitter.
Steve Foster with a little visit. Now here's Joey Gallo with the bases loaded. Hasn't thrown that first pitch strike yet. Now Gallo has struck out all 4 times he has been up today. 12-10, bases loaded in the 9th. Are you kidding me?
His 28th pitch.
And
0 for 6 with first pitch strikes. Boy, the Rockies have pounded the ball today for 12 runs, and the position players are out there wondering if they're going to be able to hang on. Wondering if they've got enough. 12 runs, 15 hits, and they're trying to hang on at the end of this game.
2-0.
No one warming up in the bullpen. This is the closer. It's on him.
Right. You know, it's one thing to walk in a run and struggle with those strikes. The bigger concern has to be for Bud Black that Davis tries too hard here, grooves one to a guy who can hit it a mile, and then it's over in a flash.
They're going to have to get someone up in the bullpen. They can't let him throw 40 pitches.
He cannot find the plate. It's
11 strikes and 19 balls for, again, one of the better closers in the National League. Just
Having a bad day finding the strike zone. Don't expect it. Don't see it very often, if at all. But this is just one of those days. For whatever reason, a guy that usually comes in and nails it down can't throw it over the plate.
Jeff Hoffman starting to work quickly out there, and there's the automatic strike to Gallo. There you see the balls to strikes. Not good.
Yeah, but you're right, Dave. Now you're in a situation where if you just throw a strike like that last pitch for the sake of throwing a strike, Joey's got a great chance to put a good swing on it.
Base hit here would tie the game. Extra base hit should win it. And there's ball 4. Fourth walk of the inning. Another one is in. It is 12-11. So the Rangers have scored 2 runs in the inning on 1 hit. In the 7th inning, they scored 3 runs on 1 hit. In the 6th inning, they scored 5 runs on 3 hits.
2 bases loaded walks. Most of these pitches aren't really tempting.
This is something else.
And here you've got Jose Trevino.
His first
late in the game.
His first Father's Day
position for him to be hitting in. Came through the other day, down by 1. He got a base hit. Got a chance to do it again. He's shown he can make pretty good contact at the plate. And right here, make contact, hit a fly ball, he can tie the ball game.
And he takes ball 1. Once again, Davis can't find the strike zone. He's missed all 7 hitters. 21 of 33 pitches have missed. Trevino just called up on Friday. His 3rd big league game. He takes a strike. It's 1-1.
Had to take a strike right there after 4 walks in this inning, 2 of them in a row.
Can you imagine this? Had a baby a week ago today. First of his life. Who's here? His little baby boy's here. And now his first ever Father's Day with the bases loaded, bottom of the 9th, down by 1. And there's his little son. There we go. So Mom.
Even though it's the opponent, it's just almost uncomfortable watching an excellent pitcher like this struggle. I know no Ranger fans are feeling sorry for him. I'm not feeling sorry for him, but feeling uncomfortable watching him go through this kind of an outing.
2-2.
Expanded the zone just a little bit right there. We still have 1 left. That's kind of what Davis needed, was get a strike on a pitch that wasn't in the zone. And Jose has had a swing at the fastball. Got a big one left right here. Tried a breaking ball. Didn't come close with it. All right, that last pitch. I gotta go with a fastball on that last pitch. Got a swing and a miss at the one before it.
Trevino's first at bat of the day today. Came in to catch last inning. Full count, bases loaded, only 1 out. And he swings and lifts this one in the air, short left field. Gonna be trouble. Parra coming in, and he can't get it. 1 run is in, the game is tied. Here comes Connor Falefa, and the Rangers win it. What an unbelievable comeback. A meltdown for Wade Davis, but Jose Trevino, a week after bringing in his first child to the world on Father's Day, in the 9th inning, wins it for the Rangers. 13-12, our final score.
Well, this has to go down as one of the more amazing games that you could ever see, no matter how long you've watched Ranger baseball. To have a game where you've scored 5 runs to take the lead in the 6th, scored 3 more in the 7th to get within 1. The Rockies come back and look like they put it out of reach with a couple of theirs in the 9th. And then Jose Trevino with a 2-run single. The Rangers plate 4
in the 9th against an excellent closer to pull this one out. We mentioned Jose makes contact. The hit that he got to tie the game the other day was a ground ball that just barely got by Nolan Arenado. This time with 2 strikes, you make contact, you've got a chance. And he just shoots a little blooper over Story's head. As soon as it lands, the game's over. And it just was an amazing finish to an incredible ball game. Almost a 4-hour ball game. The last 3 innings took 3 hours. Last 6 innings took 3 hours to play. First 3 innings, 1-0, went quickly. But man, there were base runners galore in the 6 innings after that. And what a win for the Rangers.
Well, I can't imagine who Emily might have chosen. There he is.
Yeah, amazing thing is, depending on what the score was, there's still only 1 out in the 9th inning with men on base and 4 runs in.
Oh my goodness. Okay. What a day for that young man, and he is standing by with Emily Jones.
Jose Trevino, happy Father's Day, buddy. What's this like for you?
It's crazy.
Hard to put it into words, isn't it?
I knew this was going to happen.
Tell me what was going through your mind when you stepped up to the plate with the bases loaded.
My dad. I wish he was here. I knew he was going to help me too.
What does it mean for you to have your son here?
A lot. I can't wait to tell him about it. It's one of the craziest weeks of my life.
To help this team the way that you have, to have had the week that you've had, for things to fall the way that they have. What will you take from this week, this experience, especially here today?
I don't know, you're gonna have to ask me in like 2 hours, so I'm gonna soak this all in, but it's just crazy. It's crazy how things work in baseball and life. It's crazy. It's crazy.
You've waited a long time for this experience, for these moments. Are they everything you thought they would be? And have you let yourself go there before this?
No, this was just something special. I knew it was gonna happen. Something like this was gonna happen. There was no way that we were gonna go out this easy. You know, everybody put good at bats together, and it was a great team win. You know, we battled all day, and it's just all you can ask for. Just get your number called, you go out there, and you do what you have to do.
Hey, congratulations, buddy. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
Guys, we'll send it back up to you.
Gosh, how about that with his mom holding his week-old son upstairs on his first Father's Day. Got 1 at bat today.
That makes me want to shed a tear.
I mean, isn't that amazing? And he bloops one into left. The Rangers walk it off. 13-12 our final score. I hope Dana Larson, Mark McLemore, and Mike Bassett have something they can talk about today. For Tom Grieve, Emily Jones, and I'm Dave Raymond, inviting you to stay with us. More coverage coming up right after this.